Testing. Hello everyone, and welcome to wait. Oh, sorry about this again. The championship battle day 3. And first of all, I'll apologize in advance if my audio is very bad because literally, like, here's some background story. Is that literally we were ready half an hour ago, but right before that, my microphone broke down, and I could not find a single working device that I literally had grabbed this headphones out of nowhere. And Sin her Wi-Fi crashed, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It completely died the moment Zhong's microphone also died.
Yeah, so we've spent like, you know, Sin, this tournament is called the Championship Battle, and literally the two of us before the Championship Battle, let's just call this Technology Battle, shall we?
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
Right.
Wait. Give me a second. I need to listen to the audio and see, do I need to adjust myself louder or stuff like that. So yeah, give me a brief moment. So yeah, like, hearing the stream is already ongoing, and I am trying to, like, wait. Oh, where's my stream? Let's see. Wait. Okay, my audio is horrible on the stream. I need to adjust it.
Oh gosh.
Like, no, I'm very, very quiet on the stream because this is I need to adjust it by a lot, and I do mean by a lot.
I have you turned up really high, but also
No,
I just have
yeah.
my computer volume up.
Yeah, no. That's my issue on my end, not a you issue. Wait. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's better now, but I have to continue and ramp my audio up by, like, a lot. Let's see. Can I turn it up by 30? No. 25. Yeah, apology everyone. No. Okay, I think this is the highest I can go. Let's see how the... Yeah, let's see. This is probably the highest I can turn up my audio, so I apologize everyone. Hi Nyashi.
Hi Nyashi.
Literally, like, my mic has been dying for, like... Hey, actually, maybe I think that if you two don't mind, how about the two of you do it tonight, because I don't think I can get my mic fixed.
Alright, sure.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Alright, so...
I'm echoing.
Oh, you're echoing?
I just heard myself echo, but I'm not sure. I think it's through Nyashi's mic.
Or probably that's my stream, or...
No, it was through Nyashi, I think.
Oh, then probably his mic is also faulty, haha. Well, if that's the case, I guess I'll just do it for now, and yeah, let's just move on and don't delay the people in the chat any further. So let me just cut to it real quick. So let's see. Is it available on the stream? Hopefully it is. Speak for person. Let me speak for person.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the volume?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nyasha, I guess maybe we'll go first. I'll figure out where to put you in.
Alright, sure.
Okay, so wait, let's go back. Okay, so it's been a nightmare for both me and Sin due to our technical difficulties, but I guess we'll still go straight. So here's a quick recap on the Swiss stage. Is that if we have like the 1-0s and 0-1s, because the past 2 days we have seen like some pretty like good games where we have seen like 8 teams in the 1-0s bracket and 8 teams in the 0-1 brackets, and today we're going to be carrying on for that. Is that correct, Sin?
Yep. Last stream we actually saw a lot of teams sweep, but now that we've separated them essentially into a higher and lower bracket, I'm excited to see more balanced matchups this time around.
All right. Let's see. Let me just check.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Jong, you're not streaming on Discord.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Tonight, literally, like Nyashi from background information. I was ready half an hour ago, and I spent half an hour battling technical difficulties with my mic.
I see.
All right, so moving on. So we have HLT versus CC here, and HLT we have Gotjay, Glucose, Frost One, Missouri, and Lady Ja, which are like names we pretty much know about already. And as for Team CC, Sin, were you the one who casted for Team CC?
For Team CC, yesterday we were both casting here, but I think it was you who read out their team.
Well, for CC, it wasn't yesterday. It was like last week.
Oh, well, not yesterday. Yeah, last week, technically.
Anyways, we have Lolisu, Peter, Hametu, Make a Melody, Kazuneko, Shinami, and Alphar. For some reason, this team is named entirely after Zeta, because I'm pretty sure they're not the real Zeta. So it's honestly just pretty funny how this team named themselves after Zeta entirely, isn't it, Sin?
It is, honestly. And then when we saw their performance, I'd hope they'd continue to live up to their performance and the names that they've chosen to name themselves after.
Definitely. So moving on, we have Mechanic being first banned, which we actually see is pretty common in this tournament, just because Mechanic, we all know, is very good against both the Goatman and Hula Baloo, the two standard first picks here. We are seeing Priestess and Puppeteer being the next two being banned, or rather the next two being picked, so yeah, just more or less like a preparation of the Goatman, because the Goatman's portals can screw, or rather the Priestess portals can screw over the Goatman.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Priestess, and that's also why they've chosen to pick her now, because if they don't pick her now, she'll most likely get banned anyways in the later stages, if ever a advantageous Priestess map shows up.
Yep,
It looks like they're planning to pick... Yeah, they've picked Embalmer and Antiquarian. This really does seem like they're trying to counter just really tough first pick hunters like the Hullabaloo.
That definitely over there, but one thing I am worried about this team comp is that they don't really have like the standard rescuers. Like, I know Puppeteer sort of acts like a secondary rescuer, but I'm not sure if Puppeteer alone will be enough here. So this is my biggest concern. If that whoever comes to rescue is going to be in danger there. But let's see. Embalmer Priestess, yeah, pretty standard counter of Goldman picks here. This decoding team speed is also kind of fast, so in order to beat that, I think, let's see, how good is the hunter? How good will the hunter, like, if the hunter's playing the Goatsman, we'll have to see how well is the first down.
Yeah, in regards back to your comment on their rescue speed and their
Yeah, go.
Yeah, in regards to their possible rescue speed and like safety in general, I think the fact that all of them are supports in a sense will make it a lot easier for them to rescue and just
Oh,
overall help each other out. Oh, we're seeing a breaking wheel.
well, I honestly I don't know about you, Sin, but I was not expecting to see that coming.
Actually, didn't we see a breaking wheel last time from this team as well?
Let's see, HLT. Oh, now that you're talking, I actually have you successfully refreshed my memory. So yeah, actually, yes, we did indeed, and the fact that they're already in 1-0, like they won with it, means that they're very confident with it. So let's see how good is this team named after Zeta will fare off against this breaking wheel here.
Yeah, so now we're gonna see them pick spawns as sort of the spawn reminds me of that one Tetris shape, but they've spawned middle, geisha, two-story, and
Yeah, middle two-story geisha, and also like
and
one nearby the graveyard or something. So now that we're at it, we see that the breaking wheel has spawned below here. And actually, if we look at it, breaking wheel is actually very good against this team comp in theory because I feel like it runs over like nearly every single one. Runs over priestess, runs over embalmer. Puppeteer also fine. The antiquarian is the only one that stands a bit of a chance. But just look at this, Sin. Like just look at the person now.
the way that they've
They have no
oh
borrowed time.
my wasn't this also a strategy that we saw from a team last time? We saw them only bring one or like no borrowed time as well last time. They really did just know they knew that they were gonna struggle with the rescue, so they just decided to cancel that out by bringing Tide.
Yeah, yeah. Like now that you're talking, you reminded me for a bit over there. So the issue here, though, is that in this case, they not having borrowed time might be a bit of a hassle for them because the potential issue they're facing is that if they have multiple people down with the help of the pessimistic snap, then they cannot exactly pick themselves back up. So this may be a massive problem against the breaking wheel. So here, Team CC would definitely have to be very careful endgame because they do not want to have anyone in risk of going down before the ciphers are primed. But we are going to be heading into the game first as Pros 1 turned into wheel form, and it was going to be heading straight for Dollar Priestess. And the priestess will not be using a portal, so probably will just be playing around this one window, one palette, and see how long can she last this one out.
Yeah, honestly, while I was concerned initially about the spawn here, she is actually doing pretty well off. She's gonna be able to do pretty well off with a few portals in this area. The two windows are a good counter, but after taking her first spike, she's forced to rotate out.
Actually, I do not think that was a particularly good start because she got spiked very fast. And now with her second spike and her third spike, she's now only have one portal left to work with. With this portal, she has nothing to work with at all because Flywheel's not ready yet. And in theory, I don't think she should be a kite for long. Let's see, Flywheel. Yep, very good Flywheel, prolonging the kite for even more, but her options are very limited. She has to make it through the pallet, not being able to make it through. So with that, this first down is going to be less than 2 ciphers, and against a breaking wheel, that's bad. When you're playing against a breaking wheel, the first down cannot be fast under any circumstance, or else you're going to be facing a situation where the ciphers will be beyond enough, as the puppeteer is going to be heading in prepared to rescue, but the puppeteer also has to be very careful as well. Then your mic is your mic is shaking. Oh, so while doing among that, we can see that with the blink down, the priestess is now also once again going to be second down once again, and the antiquarian is also in the vicinity. So the antiquarian is also going to land a spike with the flower being forced out here. And with the help of Ridicule here, the Antiquarian is only one hit from going down, so it's going to force the Antiquarian away. And Kearney, there's nothing anyone can do to save this Priestess. This is literally completely in the Breaking Wheels game right now.
I think the fact that they have so many tides is what might save them here, because if they can manage to force the tide out and draw out as much time as possible by forcing the breaking wheel to go into an odd corner with the survivor ballooned, it'll keep him away or at least in human form for as much as possible. But here he's already gotten a spike onto the embalmer. If the embalmer, oh wait, he hasn't. Oh, antiquarian. Yeah, oops.
Yeah. The thing is that the antiquarian just now was stuck at a very weird position when she was hiding, and that actually came back to haunt her because she was too far. As a result, she cannot make it towards the chair. So now with the priest being sent back to the manor, the puppeteer is gonna next one being chased here, and the puppeteer is one hit from going down unless he turns it into Lewis here. So Kazaneko will have to be very careful in what he does. As we can see Breaking Wheel holding the trap, looking to try and use the trap to stun the puppeteer, but the puppeteer is just clawing, making sure that he does not get stunned.
I think forcing out that extra Lewis and just simply getting another spike on him was the Breaking Wheel's plan to begin with. Now with 3 spikes, he takes down Kazuneko and manages to chair him here, but they have 2 ciphers remaining, but that's still technically half a cipher according to the progress.
Yeah, and the other issue is that the Embalmer is also in the vicinity, like he's getting found. So right now, in theory, I don't think the Embalmer is able to save. Like, can he make the save? But it seems that the Breaking Wheel is not trying to like make the camp. Instead, wants to get the farm of Kazuneko here. I feel it's better to try and turn to human form and get it down there, because right now he's just allowing time to be wasted, and we can see that amongst all this, like there's only like 30 to 40% cipher progress remaining, and this Breaking Wheel is allowing Kazuneko to kite out so much time over here that this is like the survivors have pulled it back more or less.
What I don't understand here is that the Breaking Wheel does have his snap, which would allow him to down the puppeteer as soon as Lewis runs out, which could have explained why he switched out of wheel form rather late during that chair.
Yeah, like Kirin the Antiquarian is the one prepared to rescue, but there is a massive issue with this team comp. As I reminded you all before, there is no borrowed time in this team comp, so if Shinami comes in to rescue, he cannot make it. So what the Shinami must do is to try and disarm the hunter, but the Breaking Wheel can also swap into oh, but they choose to pop it right there with a flyer pulls off the rescue. So that's a very, very good move done over there by the CC survivors, ensuring this rescue is going to be pulled off without borrowed time here. So now, let's see if Frost One is able to get it down on the Antiquarian, but with the coffin active over here, the Antiquarian is going to be saved. So this might all of a sudden be back to a tie for the survivors.
After forcing out the coffin, he's switching targets to Embalmer, especially now that Embalmer is practically useless endgame. Getting stuck on a trap, that means down for him.
Yeah, the Embalmer goes down, but hold on, Frost One here is hungry for more. He knows the vicinity of where the Antiquarian respawned, so he's just looping around, wanting to sniff out the Antiquarian, but unfortunately, Antiquarian hiding in 2-story, not giving any chances. So with that, he's going to be forced to chair the Embalmer, but I do wonder, is he able to spot out the Antiquarian after he got the chair, but I'm not sure because the Antiquarian Shinami is very far away, so this is going to be a race towards the finish line. Can Frost One sniff out where Shinami went to? This is going to be the huge $1 million question here.
Unfortunately, even though her trails were visible for a split second, it would take the eyes of a hawk to spot that, although by circling around this area, he was preventing the Antiquarian from leaving, but by going back to the chair, this means a tie for them.
Yeah, like we can see that Frost One's tinnitus judgment was not exactly the best, because he had tinnitus by the middle, but then he did not turn back to look at the corner at all, and this cost him dearly. And considering that just now when the Antiquarian come to rescue, there was no tide, I feel like this was a massive misstep on the hunter's side, allowing the Antiquarian to pull off the rescue in a quarter of health without borrowed time. Like we've seen that how the Antiquarian avoided it was sort of flywheel affected, but I feel like the hunter could have just did a lot of things better rather than allowing that free rescue out of nowhere.
I think in terms of actual gameplay, these survivors were really struggling to kite this breaking wheel for a lot of time. But when it comes to map control, that's where this breaking wheel really couldn't keep up the pace because he wasn't able to control the ciphers as much as possible, even though he did get his very quick downs.
Oh my, ECH's camera is glitching. Did you saw that?
Yeah, I'm seeing the camera glitches.
Looks like we are not the only ones with technical issues tonight. Let's call this technical issue day. Oh, uh-oh. Bye. Okay. While we're at it, let's skip ahead.
Oh,
Let's skip ahead towards the next game. So yeah, how about this? Sin, you and Yashi will take turns.
yeah, that's fine.
Wait, so it's my turn now?
No, I mean in different games.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Do not
You
come
guys
up.
keep
Do
it.
not come up from the ghost. You're not a ghost, Yashi.
Wait. Okay, just call my name 3 times, and then I will come.
Yashi.
Like Beetlejuice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm back. Like, it's a ritual. Alright.
If you do that again, I swear I'll tell everyone about the ever sleeping breaking wheel.
No, not in public.
Anyways, while we're at it, we're going to be seeing the mechanic and priestess got banned as the archer, officer, gardener, and puppeteer are making a selection. So what I do like about the HLT team comp this round is that they have a rescuer, give them more solid like rescuing. But the issue with first officer against a goatman is that there is a potential for the officer to be down fast against a goatman. As we've seen before, the goatman positioned himself out of the watch range, drop a cage, appear behind the first officer, and down he goes.
I do think it's a better option. First officer is a better option compared to mercenary against Goatman because at least with Goatman, with first officer, there's a lower rate of failure with the pocket watch than there is for the dash.
Definitely. So now that we're at it, so let's see what hunter is going to be selected. And actually, I already know what hunter is selected because I sort of got spoiled just now. So yeah, say hello to Galatea, as I'm pretty sure Nyashi is screaming off the camera right now because because he loves Sculptor. So let's think about this. Sculptor against this team comp. Gardener's bubble shield can get chipped off in full presence Galatea, and Puppeteer also sort of is not too well against the Galatea though. But the thing is that early game Gardener will be very strong against the Galatea because it's very hard to hit with the shields early game.
The main issue with the gardener is that after her first shield runs out, she's pretty vulnerable because with the condition of having to stand still, that makes it easy for her to target in a small map like Ever Sleeping where there's obstacles near everywhere that can interrupt her bubble time.
Yup, so now let's have it. So Peter here will be spawning red and left against the first officer, but he will not be going after the officer first just because it's going to be hard. So here you can either go after Godjay's puppeteer or Glucose's archer, because the thing with the archer against the Galatea is that unless the archer can aim very fast, otherwise when the archer is walking backwards, she is going to get she cannot like look at her back, and she might be in risk of getting chipped by the statues. So this is one thing we should pay attention to.
I'm not sure if it's possible for the sculptor to block the arrows like she can with the flare guns, but an accidental miss strike with the arrow might result in just completely missing as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen. I'm a hunter player. I've seen archer players occasionally miss their arrows, so this is a very valid option we should look out for. So once again, this will be BCC's hunter versus HLT's survivors, and since the first round ends in a tie, this means that any side winning here is going to win them the set. As Peter will be heading straight towards Godjay's puppeteer, which I sort of predicted because I feel like puppeteer It's not too good at Galatea, and we're gonna see a drop down, which brings Peter dangerously close towards Gotche. So I think this is a bit of misstep on Gotche's part because now Peter's dangerously close.
I think here, continuing to use
Oh!
the yeah, the terror shock with the vault is a terrible start for this already. It's already giving her her first presence, which is the chisel. By the time she gets the chair, once the rescue happens, she'll already be at full presence.
Yeah, like that early game vault was a bit of missed out on Gotche's part, and that terror shock is also like not you exactly want what you want to give to the hunter, considering this is a Galatea. She is an entirely different hunter when full presence. So let's see another statue or chip over there. And one more statue, Gotche will be down. Like he cannot turn into Lewis anymore, so he had to be relying on raw foot. Can he make it? No, he cannot. So he's gonna get it down and just look at the ciphers. Kearney is free, near 2.5 cipher situations. That's not too bad. But Galatea is near full presence, and we all know the full presence, the terror of full presence Galatea here.
Honestly, yeah, since she's preventing Glucose's archer from decoding that cipher, we're gonna see a situation where we have we're gonna see a situation where we have still two fully undecoded ciphers remaining, but they're already gonna be up against a full presence Galatea. Didn't we see this last round where Peter taunted his Galatea but decided to save it for a surprise? Perhaps this is why.
Yeah, perhaps. So let's see. Peter's gonna be wandering around, and it seems that the survivors are very like gung ho on not rescuing, which I feel like is the best move. Because at this point of time, the guy Peter still does not have full presence yet. Because for the incidents, he still need to wait for a bit longer. So they probably don't want a full presence sculpture on their face right there and now. So as the puppet
Yeah.
is going to be sent back to the manor, Peter will be wandering around looking to sniff out his next target, but we as the survivors are already scattered as they do not want to give any more chips, which is going to unlock Galatea's full presence.
Yeah, Glucose is trying to force the cipher, but honestly, I think this is a bad idea considering
Oh!
considering the area she's stuck in, and the hunter actually has warp, which, oh wow.
Yeah, but the work was very worth it though, because it did miss a bit, but with that chip now there's a 4% Galatea, and that's what I'm talking about. All of a sudden it went from like 3/4 of health down to 0 in one big swoop, and that's the terror of Galatea having the sculpture of nobility to work on. So we can see that Peter will be dropping Glucose right at the graveyard cipher, one of the ciphers where it has been decoded, because this is going to slow down the cipher progress massively, and the survivors are not in a good position because both survivors on the field cannot decode at all. One got forced away, and the other got spied on by the CCTV, meaning that no one can decode that. Oh, watch out!
At this rate, oh my gosh! That was such a close call, I was genuinely concerned, but the tram should be going off any second now. If the sculptor times this wrong, one of them will get run over by the tram here, and there goes the gardener. Luckily enough, the sculptor does not get run over with that.
I mean, literally, like while you were talking, a lot has happened over there because the gardener had a lot of statues to dodge, and just ran out of time to make it towards the chair. And Peter chaired the gardener because he knows that he does not need a 4-man. He only needs a 3-man. So he's not going to give any chances. As the first officer will be trying to come into rescue, but we can see Peter actually looking at the wrong direction. Oh, spot out Lady Ja. Like, can Lady Ja make the rescue? It's going to be using the Poseidon's watch to try and pull off the rescue, but hold on. He already got chipped once. Things are very dangerous. This is a full presence Galatea with one more group of statues. This group of statues means everything. Let's see, can Lady Ja dodge it? This is going to be very close. I don't know about this thing. This is very dangerous here.
With all of the statues and his watch still on cooldown, I really don't think he actually might. Ooh, terror shock.
Talk about like a turn of events, because you were just talking about how all the statues are gone, and then that happened.
Yeah. So it seems like It seems like CC Peters Hunter doesn't even need his statues to stuff a rescue, just terror shocks.
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like from the first down to all, Peter had the survivor on their toes. From the first down being quick, forcing them to sell, to the second down, like also in decent speed, and finally the survivors failing to dodge statues. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you want to be wary of a full presence Galatea at all the time.
Yeah,
So
honestly, this is why Galateas nowadays bring insolence compared to back during her peak days where they would bring trump card and trump card and something else. Maybe just spread it out.
maybe. But anyways, this will be the end of the first match. So Sin, you can rest for a bit. As I'm going to drag Nyashi come up.
Alrighty.
Call my name 3 times. Call my name 3 times.
All right,
Come on.
Nyashi.
Thank you. I'm here now.
All right. While we're at it, so this match is WYS versus Max Trollers, which, per my memory, they were also the winners of last week, because the matches that we're all going to be seeing tonight are the winners of last week here. So, yep,
I
there we have
believe
it.
these are these all day 1 winners, right? It was MT winning against ES, and then Write Your Story. I forgot who they won against, actually.
No, this is not all day 1 necessary, but it's the day 1.
Oh, no, I meant this matchup specifically.
Oh, I think so, because I mean, I don't remember, but I think you might, because you only did day 1 with me.
Yeah, but they do sound like I do feel like I remember them. So I think they're day 1. But okay, we're not gonna go to the I think the rosters didn't showed up. But anyways, WYS.
Yeah, the
roster
did not show up.
Oh, okay. They didn't. Oh, no.
Hold on, I think I need to turn your volume down, because I think your
okay
will be loud.
I think maybe my volume's too loud.
Yeah, because technical issues night. Okay.
All right, wait. I think they showed the roster.
Yeah.
Head back.
Got it.
There we go.
Got it.
All right. So first off, Write Your Story. We have GNAF, Izu, haha, F is happy. I'm sure they're happy. A Haoyet, Moru, Shuang Tu, and can you pronounce the Chinese name?
杂货商绝活 Pro Peddler.
Pro Peddler. Oh yeah, this is the pro. Please, it's in the competitive mode. I'm hoping to see Pro Peddler here, and on MT side, Zhang do the honors.
You're gonna force me to do that with real noob. Oh my god, Kissen noob, Koan noob, Fang Now, Koa Prof JP, Duck noob, and Idol.
Question mark. And we are gonna immediately heading into this first match. It's gonna be WYS Survivors up against MT Hunter Koa Prov JP. We did see Mechanic Band, feels like it's leaning towards the Goatman maybe, but we do see Knight and Antiquarian on Write Your Story's end.
Yep, Knight and Antiquarian. Actually, one thing that we noticed last week is that it seems that when having the choice between Goatman and Hula Baloo, team seems to prefer the Goatman more. Maybe Hula Baloo got nerfed too much. Maybe. So, but looking at this team comp, I do think Goatman is going to be the better choice, because Goatman is 50-50 against the Aeroplanist, and it's very good against the Knight, because you can literally stay out of the range, and stay out of tactical foresight range, drop a cage on them, enclosure on them, and then appear behind them, and then you can hit them before they can even react.
I do wonder if MT will show the An once more as they did last time. During the last time, though, they were playing second half and all they needed was time, so it makes sense why they played An. But then again, you never really know, because we did just see Breaking Wheel and Sculptor a while ago, so it feels like the matches today are a lot more varied than they were the past 2 days for the Goldmans, and I believe there were some Hollows that showed up as well. And we're also gonna see airplanes and here on their end, which makes a lot
Oh,
of sense. Oh, Night Watch. We are going all the way back to flipping 2023 with this one.
well, Nightwatch not exactly like a prioritized hunter just because he is like the king of ties more so, and considering this is a tournament where you want wins. So in theory, Nightwatch is harder to get wins in this meta. But then again, like you never say never because you don't know how terrifying can some like hunters tie hunters are in other people's hands.
Yeah, I feel like we can never be 100% sure here. We are gonna be seeing the spawns here. Gonna be spawning towards the right. It is gonna be airplaners taking middle top. Here we are seeing the antiquarian, and it seems as if the knight. Oh, they're actually gonna switch it. Now the antiquarian is at the umbrella gate, and we are gonna see the knight is gonna be at the lantern gate.
Nihashi, look at this. Four flywheel effects.
Yeah, I was about to mention it as well. 12. We did see that. It does seem as if knight did bring borrowed time, so it's not all 12-6 or 12-9s here on their end. But still, I mean, considering the fact that it's very interesting because knight is actually technically quotation marks the only rescuer role if you are referring to the official game. But it seems as if he's actually not the one bringing the 6 here on their end. Instead, they gave it to the antiquarian, and then they gave knight the borrowed time instead.
I mean, it makes sense because knight doesn't necessarily. Like, one thing we do know about knight is that the knight doesn't necessarily need tide turner because he has the ability called chivalrous sympathy, meaning that after he rescues someone off the chair, himself and the person being rescued can tank an extra hit for 8 seconds. So this means that it doesn't exactly need the tide turner. So it makes sense for the airplaners to bring it instead because the airplaners can also act as like a secondary rescuer.
Yep, and we are going to be heading right in towards this game. I do wonder if he's going to consider chasing D Knight. Maybe he'll go to the airplane as well. For MT, definitely the big question is, can you win with the Thai King? Seems as if they played the Thai Queen last time. Now they're trying their hand on something a bit different here. As we are going to see, it's going to be Write Your Story Survivor versus against MT Hunter.
Well, right on the bat, we can see a Nightwatch will be heading straight towards the Knight. But the real question is that if he's actually going to commit to the Knight, or is he going to be doing something else? As currently, Nightwalk is just going to be like wandering around because just to save up more energy, just so that you can use the burst chase. And it's going to be approaching both Happy and Izana here. So it seems that the airplanist might be the one taking the first kite.
Izuna here is going to be dropping down this pallet immediately. We do see that the hunter does have fast pallet breaking. I believe that was fast pallet breaking. And we are going to see Izu Haha is going to get slowed down, but he's going to be using the jetpack. Does make a minor mistake there, and that might actually give him the hit after those 2 speed boosts here. Airplane is now already taking a hit. Warp is ready in 2 seconds. Will he consider using it? Decides not to. He's going to try to get the slowdown. Does seem as if it might just be a down, but Seer Owl will be coming in clutch here.
Yeah, if I'm able to help him to last for a bit, and there's also 2 more jetpacks to work with. But the thing with Izuna is that he already used the one ability, but hold on, Knight's Tactical Foresight is here, having both of the normal attacks, forcing the Nightwatch here to waste time and go for it, but there is also a jetpack to work with, just to buy more time, but there's just nowhere to run here, no palace, no nothing, but there is one more flywheel effect here, so let's see, this pallet mind game is all what matters, but not dropping the pallet means that you're gonna go down. So with that, they did manage to prolong the kite for a bit with that sense of events, but this is still only 2.5 ciphers at most.
Yeah, I mean, they still have tie pace here, possibly, but now Airplanus is down to his last jetpack. They have no Seer Owls, and it's not able to decode this other cipher here, as it does seem as if he might actually even be forced to go for the first rescue here. They do finally finish D2 ciphers here, and they're starting to work on their new ones as well. Knight seems to be coming here, and he is going to be going and getting the rescue right off.
Yup, is able to pull off with the help of Chevalier Sympathy. So here is just going to wait it out. Another tactical foresight just to delay a bit more time. But how long can you delay? Because the last jetpack has been used, and with no more shield, down goes the aeroplanist. Not exactly able to rebound Kai for a bit long, as Izuna will be shared once again. So the next hope for the rebound Kai is going to be the Antiquarian, as the Antiquarian is the only one left that can really assist.
I do wonder though if what their play is going to be, whether they're trying to go for that rebound kite, or maybe Izuna just gonna try and take the hit immediately and just go on the far end so they can play for the reset, which they're doing exactly that right now instead of decoding the ciphers. We are going to be seeing Antiquarian going to be trying to go for the rescue. Does manage to get a perfect rescue there, does not get hit, and it seems as if he's going to be locking in here on Izuna. Haha, as he is actually going to the corner. Seems as if they want to be trying to decode these ciphers as much as possible, so they're just trying to get away from these ciphers here, as it does seem as if this is going to be the last chair for Airplanist right here.
Yeah, it seems that they're not planning to like have the Antiquarian to come in and assist with her swipes. They just wanted to drag more like decoding progress, which does make sense considering that all three survivors are still in full health. So let's see what will be the hunter's next move be, because almost everyone left the ciphers. So it seems that the knight will be taking. Is that knight? Yeah, the knight will be taking the next kite, and the knight only has one more tactical foresight left, and now he's actually gonna head straight towards the seer. But oops, a bit of funny thing there, but still gonna head towards the seer, where the seer has nothing to work with right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he is going to try to use this 9 and try and make as much distance as possible. He doesn't want to die at the cipher nearby here, so even if he's going to afford or take a hit here, it's way better for the survivors. At least they'll be able to pop the cipher right after. But it seems as if he's actually making his way back here, but the last cipher is actually a bit nearby. He is going to get the vault off. He does have flywheel to use here. He gets an amazing flywheel there on the side of the Seer, and now Cypher is at 70%. Does seem as if Seer is stalling more time, even misses the hit there and gets the vault right after. It seems as if Seer is finally gonna take the hit, so down goes the Seer. But the problem maybe for the survivors is that Seer doesn't actually have borrowed time here. So after this rescue, they need to get a really good rescue here, and maybe try to body block for the Seer, or maybe just pop right after.
Let's see, the knight wants to use Chevalier Sympathy, but just gonna go for it, and Hunter knows that there's no board time, goes for the tunnel here, is able to. The good news is that the survivor has one more chance, but the bad news is that if they miss the next one, then the survivors are in an even bad position here, so the survivors have to be very careful in all their movements here.
Yeah, I feel like they should just make the change here, have Antiquarian go for the rescue instead. At least you can maybe possibly use the stick to, at stall time and just get the pop instead. Does manage to get the chair here. Decides not to try and go for the hit instead. We are going to see Happy now trying to go for this rescue. It is after half, so they have to be very careful here. If here does go down, they're going to be playing this end game with just 2 survivors on the field, as we are going to see tries to use the swipe there to force the hunter away, but to no avail as he just goes right back.
Yeah, let's see who is going to be smiling over here. Can the hunter get the tunnel? Nope, not be able to. Maybe they should find good timing to pop, because they cannot afford the hunter to the Seer at all. So let's see, another Tempest Windwalk here. Misses the swipe. The Seer's dangerous because, manage to block with an out. So this must be the time that they pop, because if they do not, then this is going to be an even bad thing. So let's see. Yep, manage to go for pop, but how long can the Seer last out? Not for long, as the Seer goes down. So what would the hunter's choice be? It's going to go for the chair straight away, because the gate is still only around 60%. So let's see what's going to be the choice here. Going to go for the warp straight away. It's about to be popped, so let's see. The Antiquarian misses the disarm over there, so he's still going to go down, but the knight manages to dodge the cyclone. It's a good news. So with that, they managed to pull off a one-man escape, but having a 3-man elimination is actually very decent for MT already here, Nyashi.
Yeah, that is an incredible tree kill here from the side of MT. Antiquarian unfortunately missing the chance to harass, to at least stall time and get that gate open. but also just a good job on MT here, recognizing Seer has 12-9, trying and just basically eyeing on him, making sure that you get the down on him. Seer also did an amazing job, actually did a really good kite. Unfortunately, still a one escape. Then again, one escape is better than a no escape. And now for the side of, I believe, right, your story's Hunter. Hopefully, maybe either a tree kill force the overtime, or get the 4 kill and end the game here and then.
Yeah. Oh, hello everyone in the stream. Please let me know if I'm too quiet or stuff because like I had issues and I'm forced to use my headphones, which is not the best quality. So yeah. Let's go ahead and with the power of technology, let's move to the next
Yes,
game.
we are gonna invent time travel on the stream, as we are gonna see Write Your Story.
No, we're not gonna invent
banning.
time travel. Remember, the clerk can decode the entire cipher.
Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. I mean, Clerk is crazy. Honestly, I didn't know Clerk was actually a survivor character in the game, but we are gonna see Mechanic get banned here. Same thing as what MT did. We are gonna see though on the side of MT Survivor, and Bomber and Psychologist will be the first pick. Seems as if High, of course, is kind of your main objective now as MT.
Yeah.
And these picks are very safe for them.
Yeah, the name of the game for MT is now called We Want to Tie because Psychologist and Embalmer is the king and the queen of tying in the game. So yeah, right now I probably assume they would probably want to finish up the rest of the team comp with some rescuers here. Go for a knight and maybe a mercenary or like gravekeeper just to be more safe. But oh, perfect.
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
okay.
We are gonna see. Yes, we are gonna see Signature Magician. I believe they were also the ones that played Magician on day 1. So it seems as this is actually very much a comfort pick for MT, and I believe they got the tree escape that match as well. So, I mean, for Team MT here, all they have to do is try not to be their name, try not to be the mad trollers, because you do not want to sell this this 2-point lead that they currently have.
Yep. The name of the game for Metros is to take a tie. So let's see, what would this Peddler Pro pick?
I do hope it's Peddler. I mean, it's in the name. You can't end the tournament without playing Peddler. I'm not sure if Peddler is allowed. We did see Archer, so I'm just naturally assuming that Peddler is allowed this tournament because we saw the Archers like in day 2, and I believe just a while ago, right? So I'm gonna just make a hard guess, hope that they're allowed. I'm not sure if NGT is watching. If he is, please.
He's probably still in the stream, so maybe people in
He's in the stream.
maybe everyone else in the chat can answer that. But while we're at it, let's see. Going to be banned. Final team comp. So 20 seconds. Imagine if it ends up to be a peddler.
Yeah, please, I'm as a C batch peddler, I need to know those pro peddler strats, you know? It's gonna be a breaking wheel. Okay, you know what? That's 100% also a great watch for me at least. But breaking wheel, I mean, this is an all or nothing character for Write Your Story. I mean, I like to think that breaking wheel has a lot of ways to win and has also a lot of ways to lose. So for pro peddler, I mean, knowing that they need a 4 kill here, maybe a 3 kill if they still want to go for overtime. Playing the breaking wheel does make some, and actually no, makes a lot of sense because you have the embalmer, which could be problematic if you don't have a way to properly cover those distances.
So if we look at this team comp, though, this team comp, I think, like you play breaking wheel, I think you can tell this too. This is actually a very good comp for the breaking wheel because breaking wheel wrecks over the psychologist, still wrecks over the embalmer. Magician maybe a bit, but yeah, I think breaking wheel in theory is very good against this team comp, especially this is Chinatown too, which is also a breaking wheel strong map.
Yeah, I would say also as a former breaking wheel main, I have to put it there now because I don't want to be known as the breaking wheel main. But as a former breaking wheel main, Yeah, I mean, this composition is pretty solid for Breaking Wheel, as you've already mentioned for Psychologist and Embalmer. But also, in addition to that, even Knight here, who can be somewhat problematic because of the fact that Breaking Wheel only has like maximum of 2 traps, and then you have to wait for it to regenerate for a bit. This thing is still the thing against Knight is that Knight only has 6-9 here, so no flywheel on his end. If anything, the main issue that he might have might be Magician, who has flywheel, but once you reach max presence, it kind of also becomes very difficult because he can just ramp up, and Magician doesn't necessarily have a lot of answers to it other than the flywheel.
So now let's head into the game and let's speed up with the power of more technology. So
Yes.
we can see right off the bat, Peddler Pro, who is a Breaking Wheel player, is gonna dash straight for Embalmer first, and honestly, like he can pretty much go after either the Embalmer or the Psychologist, both works, especially considering that the Embalmer at this point of time didn't even drop his coffin yet, I believe, so this is actually not a good situation, but the Embalmer is actually doing a very good job looping around just that one chair and open area to making sure that he does not get spiked.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job actually being able to kite the pro peddler here who's playing Breaking Wheel. As we are going to see, he is finally going to get 1 spike, and it seems as if he's not going to try to go for a second. Hoping to maybe get a hit here. We do see Tree 9 on the side of Breaking Wheel. Does drop the pallet here. Doesn't get the trap there. I'm a bit surprised. He's now going to go ahead and switch back to the wheel form. Try to get that second spike, because at this point, Embalmer is wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, is able to get a second spike, fortunately for him, but it seems to me that his traps are a bit inaccurate, missing 3 traps in total there, because I feel like he could have aimed a bit more better. Let's see, the 4th trap, he has to make this one count. Oh, flywheel effect, a very beautiful flywheel, able to evade both the hit and the trap, but unfortunately will still go down. But this Embalmer definitely carried out a decent amount of time, because this is near 2.5 ciphers. But I'm just concerned the fact that he didn't drop his coffin, meaning that someone must come in to rescue.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of the play. They recognize that against a Breaking Wheel, they want to stall as much time, and so by I mean, they could have dropped the coffin for a bit of a safeguard, but I think Embalmer was more comfortable playing and hopefully getting that kiting area. As we are going to see, Knight is going to be within the vicinity, but also I believe that is that Magician going for the back door here? Yeah, it is Magician going for the back door, as we are going to see Knight is finally going to get downed actually with the 2 spikes here. Embalmer does drop down the coffin this time now, as we are going to see that the Magician did finally get the rescue, but immediately Embalmer is already getting caught.
Yeah, the technical foresight of the Knight was a bit of a miss over there, but Kearney Peddler Pro is actually very good, because now he turns into human form with the Ridicule and also with Pessimistic, and he actually doesn't even need any of those. Down goes the Embalmer, and the Embalmer still has the coffin to try and drag out a bit more time, but considering that the Knight also went down, forcing the Magician to come in to rescue, this is not a good situation for the survivors at all, because the ciphers are sort of at a standstill at the moment.
Yeah, I think they decided to go for the coffin, realizing that if they try to go, I don't think they were confident in getting the rescue there. With Psychologist still decoding, they want to push these ciphers while getting the reset on the Magician, or sorry, on the Knight rather. We are going to see Embalmer actually doing a pretty good job stalling time, but unfortunately, we're going to see the snap right after, and he is going to go down here. But good news for the survivors, even though all that stuff actually happened on their end, they do finish 3 ciphers, and they have one at about 60%. So progress is pushing and kicking here for their side. All they need is a last cipher, as we are going to be seeing Breaking Wheel now heading towards mid, which the Magician is right here.
Yeah, they still have 1.5 cipher though, so this is a Breaking Wheel 1.5 cipher situation. So sort of everyone's game depending how they last. So, Magician already has 2 spikes on him, has to be very careful, does not want to get caught by a trap here, so uses the first one, is able to trick the Hunter for a bit, as Peddler Pro did not know where the Magician went. So, yeah, like, lasting out that was very good, and Peddler Pro is going to commit towards the Magician. I don't think it's the best move. Maybe it's better to, just get the snap Pessimistic off, and then going to go straight for whoever is decoding the cipher, which in this case is going to be the Knight.
we are going to see Psychologist is now going to go for the whistle. And I think that is a pretty good play because, I mean, the stress isn't really going to help you against a breaking wheel too much. As we are going to see Knight does go down nearby the Cypher. So this could be a potential winning opportunity. But keep in mind, Cypher is about 80%. Magician trying to make his way back, maybe hoping to get a bit more progress in. But immediately we are going to see, I
Abnormal.
believe he switched to Abnormal there, an absolutely aggressive play on the side of Breaking Wheel, recognizing that they don't have another Cypher, as we are going to see Magician trying to go for the rescue. Flywheel still up, so Hunter can't really just use Max Presence immediately to try and get him down, as we are going to see no Spike yet, very surprisingly. We are going to see now tries to, does use the Max Presence, no Flywheel, and now trying to play the stall game force after half.
Yeah, can he do it? Oh, seems like he's able to pull it off before half, so I think this is a bit of a missed time on the Hunter's part, because if he played Mind Games the Magician a bit more, anything could have changed. But instead, now he's going to go after the Psychologist who came into Decode, because the Survivors wanting to rush the Cypher, but I'm not sure if this is the best move. Maybe they could have decoded the other Cypher at the far end rather than rushing this one, because then now, like, the Psychologist also cannot really kite out this Breaking Wheel for too long, too. So we can let's see, can Petter Pro find the two Survivors who are healing? Yes, they can. Magician is going to get caught over here, and with the snap, Magician is going to go down, and currently, with both the Psychologist and the Knight are like in lower than half health, I feel like this is almost game for the Survivors, or for the Hunter, because the thing is that the Survivors cannot exactly do much over here. Like, the Knight can still rescue, but that also means the Psychologist is going to get caught. So this is sort of like a slow death situation for the Survivors. Like, they cannot do much, because yes, Knight got pulled off, but the Psychologist is going to go down and get chaired, meaning that there will always be one Survivor running at the field, and the other will always get chased off the Cyphers. So the Cyphers will forever be a standstill here. Well, yeah, after the rescue, we can see that the Magician wants to touch the Cypher, but Breaking Wheel just will not let it. And the thing with a full presence Breaking Wheel is equivalent to whoever sees them is going to go down instantly. So let's see. Not able to fly will affect the Ridicule and the Pessimistic Snap, so this is going to be very bad. Magician going to be second chair here, going to go after the Knight, and I feel like what the Survivors can do are very limited. Oh, Nyashi is gone. Sin, you can join if you're still there. So...
Yep, Nyashi's sad.
Yeah, Nyashi died over there. So, yeah, like, the Knights does one more guess here. And one thing I noticed with the Mind Games is that literally, the Breaking Wheel had the Knights favor the entire game, because I don't think the Knights made any correct guesses in this entire game.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, honestly, that's quite unfortunate for the Knight with his util here, but they're still on one Cypher remaining, but it's only at the highest progress Cypher is only at about 40, so that's 60, and with both of them injured, unable to heal, even if they manage to heal up the Knight here, it's gonna be way too difficult for them to actually get more than one person out at most.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, considering that the Survivors need at least a one man out, but I think here this is looking more grim, as right here Story's Hunter may be able to doing the unthinkable here and pulling this one off. So, but the thing though is that both Survivors are dead on chair per my memory. So right now, like, whoever he gets caught, he cannot afford to chair, or else the other will escape through the dungeon. So this is just sort of like a slow death game, depending on how long it takes for a Breaking Wheel to locate both the Peddler and not the Peddler, both the Psychologist and the Knight.
Well, we've already seen that the Psychologist went down pretty fast due to getting a spike and getting the spike from the aura.
Oh, look at this.
He's already he's struggling to see the Knight, or he's struggling to maneuver around the Knight because of the positioning. Although now that he does have the second spike, he's gonna go down. There we go.
Yeah, Psychologist got back up, and actually maybe it would be better for Psychologist to stay down in hopes of the Hunter not finding her. But then again, like what the survivors can do are very limited at this point of time with the psychologist expanding the self heal. But it seems that Peddler Pro does not know where did the psychologist went, so the psychologist is just marching towards the knight, maybe wanting to try and preserve the self heal. But it's going to be very hard considering that now the hunter already spotted the psychologist tracks.
Yeah, and unfortunately the psychologist will go down again here. They're unable to they're unable to dodge these spikes, meaning they're unable to actually force out a basic attack. So they're just gonna surrender here, because stretching it out would in fact be pointless.
Yeah, so with that, there's going to be a format elimination from Write Your Story, able to reverse the 3-1 deficit, and that's an amazing job by this Peddler Pro here, even though they're not playing Peddler, and managing to just claw back a 1-3 into a 6-3. So honestly, I feel like this Breaking Wheel selection was very good, because as I noted before the match, this is a very bad comp against the Breaking Wheel.
So I think what the other team has to do now is retaliate with something even better, another 4K or another 4K, or perhaps
No, it's the BO1.
what was it? Ah,
It's BO1, Write Your Story 1 already.
oh,
Language.
man.
Yeah, so with that, congratulations to Write Your Story for managing to claw back the victory against MT, a very beautiful showcasing. As a result, Write Your Story will be advancing to the 2-0 bracket, where they're going to be one game away from advancing to the top 8. Meanwhile, for Team MT, they're going to drop back for the 1-1, but still not over for them yet, because they still have 3 more games to work around with, but Write Your Story is one step away. So let's move on to the third game, which is Sky versus Gao. I think it was you in this match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me who commentated the match with Gao versus the other team, but I don't think I've seen the match with Sky.
Well, it's okay, because Sky is actually just formed of people that we do know.
Ah. So perhaps that will actually make it, yeah.
I'll pronounce it
It'll make
because
it easier for me to.
you cannot pronounce Chinese, right?
No, I cannot.
Alright, let me do this. So for Skywalker here, we have Yin Die. Yin Die, 偏飞如落雪，温暖雪，恋与第五人格，浮雪，是一败全女 and 70FHKXP, which they're actually just almost everyone in the Sky team. Oh, hello, Father Milk. Thanks for letting me know of the audio's fine. So yeah, this is actually almost everyone in the Sky team in Koa. So Sin, you can do the honors here.
For Gao again, we have Plam, Shom, Nang, ZKIV, Hui, Mikukana, and Taylor Swift.
He was
We
not
saw
the
them
real
last
Taylor Swift.
Monday. Yeah. It's hard to get over when we have Taylor Swift playing IDV, you know?
I mean, imagine one day if the names we thought are fake were real, like the CC team, which we thought they're just named it after, but surprise, they're real, haha. So, yeah, both teams are currently in a 1 or are in a 1-0, which means that they will ideally want to win this match to advance to the 2-0 bracket. As we're going to be seeing Gao Serve Hunter making the appearance first, banning Seer, forcing Sky. With no out, they're going to go for both the first officer and airplanist first. It seems to me that teams are preferring back the first officer over the Gravekeeper. Maybe because if you pick the Gravekeeper, you're going to get countered by other hunters.
Yeah, it's just that The thing with Gravekeeper is that while he is a reliable rescuer against hunters he's good at, there are a lot more counters to Gravekeeper than there are compared to like the previously strong meta
Yeah,
Merc. But now recently we've seen it more balance out and peter out the meta towards FO.
I mean, the meta has changed once again now, so I'm not too surprised about this. So we're going to see, flare gun time. Coordinator flare gun, and the last one, they probably want a kiter of another kiter maybe? Oh, they had issues, but no worries for us with the power of technology. Let's just skip ahead. Oh, the last one is the fire investigator. But the issue of this team comp I'm seeing is that the Ghostman runs through this team comp. Like, first officer, as I mentioned before, gets countered. Airplanist 50-50. Fire investigator, you put an airbag to speed up, and surprise, one enclosure cage, and you're done for. So honestly, here, if Plan does indeed have a Ghostman, it would be an ideal time to put out.
I think the only possibility here is if Coordinator manages to go into the bubble with the survivor she's helping, or perhaps she could use it to pull off a clean rescue without any hits.
Yeah, that's the really only potential I see, but let's see what will Plum's choice be, because we've talked about Goatman, but that is if you do have a Goatman, but what?
Peddler!
Alright.
We were just talking about her.
Nyashi right now would be screaming the fact that he missed this.
Unfortunate for him. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing G Plam's Peddler, which is a surprise considering just previously we had Pro Peddler playing someone else. But what do you think? How well would Peddler do against this team comp actually?
Honestly, I have no clue because I have not played a lot of Peddler, meaning that I'm still a bit confused, but let's see, the Peddler is actually sort of a jack of all trades in terms of she can do sort of anything, but then the issue with her is that she's also kind of slow, so she can do anything but also nothing at the same time. So I'm actually very excited to see Peddler in play, given that I have not seen her in action at all.
We're gonna be seeing them on a smaller map like Red Churchill Mitt, which will make it easier to sort of locate survivors and actually force them into certain areas depending on what the hunter wants. So possibly that'll be a sort of handicap to the peddler's slowness.
So yeah, let's see over here. Peddler located next to the officer and the airplanist, so the airplanist will probably be taking the first kite, because the thing is that there is the nature affinity that we have to look after, because after the peddler absorbs the natural elements, then she gains the nature affinity. With the help of the vines, she can chase down the aeroplanist. If the aeroplanist speed boosts, then the peddler can use the vines to catch up with the aeroplanist. So this is one potential that the aeroplanist must be wary of.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I'd say would be the most dangerous things for this aeroplanist, but let's see how it goes.
I mean, obviously we have to see how it goes, because this is probably one of the very few early tournaments we see that had the peddler. Wait, did Nyashi just join back, or am I tripping?
No, I actually don't see him in call.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Nyashi is probably screaming off the camera right now that he missed this.
I wonder what happened to him.
I do. But anyways, Peddler, going to be absorbing the Cypher straight away with the Mat Affinity. I think the thing is just dependent on how many affinities that the Peddler manages to absorb, as he is going to be heading straight towards the first officer. Seems to be wanting to chase the officer, which I'm not sure is the best idea, because there's going to be the vines. because like there's the Poseidon watch. But hold on a minute, something different happened entirely. Peddler managing to predict where the first officer went to and getting a hit. So now this means that the officer is not in a good position. As soon as the peddler gets the nature affinity, it's going to be a whole different story here.
There it is.
Oh!
Those are some fabulous predictions, actually, with the first hit managing to hit him through the pocket watch, and then the second one he gets hit again at the same pallet. I think this pallet is just not his best forte.
Yeah, so this is also a completely different thing. And hold on, there's another hole going to be made through by the peddler. So this means that the coordinator has to be very careful with her positioning, as currently the peddler already has two mineral affinity, meaning that she's gonna get stunned for a very little amount of time, and it's gonna go for like the camping approach here. So let's see what the coordinator do. Gonna go for the rescue, and also the flare gun going to be ensuring the first officer going to make like quite a rebound kite, considering that that's the first down is very fast.
Although even then, she does have her vines, which gives her so much distance. But because of the firing investigator, she's forced to use another one of her holes.
Yep, but the good news though that currently, I don't think the peddler really has time to try and absorb the nature affinity, meaning that with no vines, this is where the peddler is gonna struggle for a bit, because with no vines, she doesn't really have fast moving abilities, and she has to accurately guess where exactly did the first officer went. But there is still the mineral affinity to work with to like play around with pallets. So we'll see though. But with the first officer still not being able to evade the hit, so honestly, for this game specifically, Plan did a very good job in predicting where exactly would the first officer dodge into.
Yeah, honestly, those are some fabulous mind games, because even if the first officer watch does confuse the hunter a lot, if you're very blatant with your movements, it serves no purpose in the end against hunters that have predictive abilities like Peddler.
So Vine not being able to catch someone at all, but there is still also like the mineral affinity to be wary about, like the explosion. So that's why the survivors does not dare to rescue. It seems that the plan will be to playing for a tie, but hold on, the hunter already has nature affinity once again. Is going to try and catch up, but actually got stopped by the airbag over there. So I didn't know the interaction, so that's a very good airbag over there, delaying more time.
Yeah, honestly, this is an amazing maneuvering with the fire investigator. Well, he's using his abilities perfectly to counter the vines as much as possible, but even still, he's gonna be taking another hit here.
Yeah, but the sabers are going to be enough, considering that the first officer did rebound Kai for a bit of time. But Peddler hot after the first officer, or rather the fire investigator's tracks here, and actually is going to be using the mineral to go pass through that warp, preventing the fire investigator from dropping the airbag. So this forces the hunter into teleporting. So but hold on, I think, yeah, the hunter can once again go pass through the wall. Once again, the coordinator has nowhere to go. Only has one flywheel effect, but that's not enough to last her, as the cord will be going down here, Sin.
Yeah, those are some amazing holes. On Red Church specifically, that's really, really reliant on the long walls and sparse pallets in certain areas. Peddler shines here.
Yeah, Peddler does shine, but the survivors did manage to pull off a tie over there with the help of their amazing teamwork, with both the coordinator and the fire investigator able to like drag out for even more time. So with that, this is going to be a tie on both ends. And considering that this is the Peddler's first appearance in a tournament, I think it's a very decent result.
Yeah, it's a rather decent result. I think it could have gotten better if she managed to actually counter the first officers. Not quite the first officers, like managed to use her other utility more to down him, but that was just a really long kite that there's not much to do about it. John, your microphone is lagging out. It sounds like static.
Um, there's no. Wait, is this better now?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can really do because of. Uh, yeah, hopefully this will be better. Wait, is this better or not, or still the same?
It's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, not much I can do considering that I grabbed this headphones at the last moment. But anyways,
It's alright.
moving on. Like this means that the hunter here is going to be looking for a 3 to 4 man, as any victory on any side will make or break the game. So Seer Knight, oh my goodness, Sin, what exactly is this?
I think we're just. Didn't we also see this last time? We
Yeah,
saw the same
yeah.
lineup of psychologist, enchantress, and doctor, but this time we've swapped. We've seen the Pharaoh lady swapped out for explorer, because I'm guessing they just prefer the ability to hide more. Explorer's ability to hide over Pharaoh ladies.
Yeah, like now they're talking about, but we've seen this thing from Gao last week, so it seems like Gao really prefers this wacky comms. But if you think about it, the Goldman is not workable here because Goldman does not like the Doctor and also does not like the Enchantress. This is almost like a complete shutdown towards the Hunter's Goldman, though it does open the door for any standard hunters like Opera Singer, Hula Baloo, or even hunters like Bloody Queen, Night Watch are all workable here. Oh no, not Night Watch. Bloody Queen, Disciple are all workable here. So in terms of trying to counter the Goldman, they may be opening themselves up of potential danger against something more here, Sin.
I think the main concern here is because it's such a small map, even if they do have the power to Cypher Rush, they'd have to be wary of hunters with longer ranges, longer map control ranges, like... oh, actually, we're gonna be seeing a Hullabaloo.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking just now. You have to beware of the Hula Baloo. Hula Baloo runs through the Doctor and the Psychologist. Enchantress is like if a skilled Hula Baloo can make an Enchantress very hard to release her skill by using the fire like stage to shut down her silence her abilities. So in theory, the only chance here is for the explorer to hide very well early game, and in hopes of the hunter wasting time to find the explorer. But then Hula Baloo doesn't necessarily have to waste time trying to find the explorer as well.
Yep, the hunter could totally just go for someone else, considering all of their decoding speeds will be super fast, and if he can just get anyone to get off the ciphers, that will already be a massive loss in speed.
Yep, so let's see here. Hula Baloo spawning at the left, and ideally you can chase anyone first. The psychologist being chased first is good enough because it's very close. It's very close and all. So we'll have to see. How are the survivors going to kite this out? Because in theory, this team comp is not the best against Hula Baloo because no one can really kite the Hula Baloo for a decent amount of time apart from the explorer's hide and seek.
I think because of the characters that they're playing, he's just gonna not bother with the others and just go straight for the psychologist. Perhaps even the doctor, but with the area she's in, it's more likely he's gonna go after psychologist.
Yup, so we'll have to see though. Though if this is going to be Gao Survivor versus Sky's Hunter with your casters Invisible Joan and Sin, and let's head straight into the game. As right off the bat, Hula Baloo is going to be heading straight towards the Psychologist. Oh, it's able to with a double surprise, able to get one Pyrotechnist on the mark on the Psychologist. So this is actually a very fast mark considering that they had no line of sight. But the Psychologist actually chooses to rotate around, and they're going to have the Enchantress to help straight away, which I'm not sure is the best move because the Psychologist was running into a very bad area, actually having 4 marks on her or 5 marks on her within 5 seconds. That's a very, very fast mark speed here, Sin.
It is incredibly fast, but Hullabaloo needs to be careful to not down her too fast. He needs to make sure he runs down that empathy unless he wants to deal with her empathy post rescue.
I mean, he doesn't even need to be worried about that, but during all that, the Enchantress got the stun off, so this allows the psychologist to get off scot-free. And honestly, I don't think the Hula Balloon needs to be too wary of the empathy, because a full presence Hula Balloon means that whoever gets chased down first. And it looks like the plan for Team Gao is to have the Enchantress assist for the entire game, which is going to slow down the coding speed, but it's going to pay off if it works. So let's see would it work, as the warp is going to be in play here. But very good move from the sidestep from the psychologist, able to evade the clay stage over there, wasting a lot of time.
But because she's trapped herself in the corner there, she's unable to. Yeah, I was concerned about her being unable to dodge if the Hullabaloo ever decides to rotate or use a clone.
So currently for the situation, this is not good on the survivors. They only have 2 whole ciphers at all. Because the Enchantress has been like harassing and assisting the entire time, this means that the ciphers were at a standstill. But amongst all the Explorer actually shrunk and is in the vicinity, but I don't think the Hunter exactly knows, allowing a no damage rescue to being pulled off, and with Tide Turner able to delay for like around 10 near 20 seconds more. So this sort of brought back some of the lost time that was lost because of the Enchantress harassing there.
Yeah, even then, the psychologist goes down pretty fast, but because she's already gotten down in an area like this where there's not many unfinished ciphers aside from that one there, they're gonna be able to actually redeem themselves with that cipher speed quite easily here if they manage to pull off another rescue.
But the question is, can they pull off another rescue? Because the thing is, the psychologist is the only other person with Ty who's on the chair, and no one else has Ty Turner. So this will be a very risky move, because whoever it comes in to rescue may be in risk of being doubled down. We see the doctor is going to come in, but there is a very high chance that the doctor is going to get doubled down. So let's see what's going to happen here. But it seems that the Hula Baloo is more interested in just getting a farm off the psychologist, meaning that the doctor can self-heal herself back up.
Yeah, since the doctor can self-heal herself now and the psychologist is kiting away from all of the ciphers, perhaps the doctor's plan here is to body block the psychologist, but it fails, and the psychologist just goes down.
Yeah, I mean, though while the psychologist just goes down, it's still fine because they dragged a bit of time, and currently there's one whole cipher remaining, but the explorer's already digging up another half a page, so in reality, it's only really half a cipher remaining. So I think the explorer pick on for Team Gausa is working in their favor right now, because this means that the hunter cannot exactly go for like a cipher camp.
Yeah, since Explorer can probably handle most of the cipher progress by himself, the Enchantress has come here to assist, and this is definitely their best option here, but we have to remember neither of them have borrowed time minus for Explorer.
Yeah, but he's gonna go after the Explorer instead, so I think he does not want the ciphers to be decoded at all. But the thing is that if the Explorer goes down, the Explorer is gonna drop the pages, so this is, and the pages, like the survivors can pick up the page to complete the cipher. So this is one thing we should be concerned about. So now that as the Explorer is going to go down over here, I feel like the ciphers are going to be enough, considering that it's already 70%. And I think the question, like the real chance for the Hula Baloo here, is to try and locate the one that does not have borrowed time, and try and farm them rather than farming this Explorer who does have time indeed.
But I don't think he's. Oh my god, sorry. I don't think he's able to tell which one of them has borrowed time or not, since. Sorry. I'm getting bad sniffles right now, but. He switched his target back to Doctor. I think he actually did manage to figure out that she doesn't have borrowed time, but I don't know if he knows that Explorer doesn't. Death Explorer does.
Yeah, but that's not the question. The question is that this Enchantress want to get out the front gate, but can can Hula Baloo get it down over here? And I can't exactly see where did the Explorer go. The Explorer's actually trying to like pull up a sneak rescue here. So let's see though. Right, the Hula Baloo has to down the Enchantress fast, or else like this would be a complete different story as all three survivors are surrounding this gate. And the issue over here is that Hula Baloo is very weak endgame because he cannot afford to bring detention, and without detention this means that whoever comes to rescue can just safely escape. Because look at this, the Doctor and the Explorer can now safely escape, and the Enchantress will be sent back to the manor potentially. So this is seems like going to be a tie over here, Sin.
Yeah, this is most likely heading towards a tie, and that's because the lack of ability to just insta down people or just control more than two people crowding a single area is one of Hullabaloo's main weaknesses here.
Yeah, Hula Baloo's main weakness is endgame because he cannot afford to bring detention, but that means that endgame he will also be very weak. So there we have it, Sin. This is going to be like our first tie for the round, meaning that we're probably going to head into extra time to see who is going to be the winner between these two teams over here. And hold on, I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to be back real quick.
Yeah, that's alright.
Alright, I'm back. Hello?
Hello, yeah, welcome back.
Huh. Oh my, so we're gonna be heading into extra time, so this is a first over here, Sin.
Yeah, this is actually one of the first times we've seen teams actually go into their third round here, which is honestly, I'm glad this is happening now because it actually is proving that the Swiss stage will give us more balanced matches compared to usual round robins.
I mean, there's good and bad news. The bad news is that we're gonna be stuck for here longer tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna be a little bit longer, but since it's only one more match, it should take us about like what, 20-30 minutes?
Yep. Anyways, let's see here. The global bands are going to be the peddler, first officer, and the aeroplanist. So yeah, because now that we're heading into BO2, there will be global bans as the first two survivors being selected would not be available here. And we're going to be seeing the Gravekeeper and the Priest is going to be selected now. So this is probably going to be like more... They're probably going to be like being prepared for any potential Goatman incoming for Sky.
Yeah, since they've chosen to ban... They've chosen to ban Shadow instead of the Goatman, but... So... They're probably trying to just counter whatever meta hunter that they've left open. They do still need to be a little bit wary of Hullabaloo, but because they have Gravekeeper, they should be pretty safe.
Yeah, that's gonna be in theory for now. For now, because like the ban for this tournament is not the same as the tournament server, so we'll have to see. And another thing we should note though is that because this is overtime, this means that time would also be mattering here. Is that if both teams get a tie once again in this round, time is going to determine the difference. So there's one thing Team Sky should be looking out of. But based on this pick, I can see why they banned the Shadow, because the Shadow is literally the queen of dragging out the game.
Yeah, and because of things like this, even though certain hunters are relatively strong in terms of actually getting a win, because there's a risk of them drawing out the time too much and not getting the reward from it, like a 3K or the 4K that they're going for, that will be less likely for them to choose it. Perhaps they'll choose quick and fast, and as well as relatively powerful hunters.
I mean, quick and fast. That's why we can see it that this team comp on Sky's side is not necessarily like the weakest, or I mean the slowest in decoding. It's actually decently fast, which is like we can explain. We know why it's decently fast because time is also matter in this game, so they do not want this to be too slow. So let's see what will G Plan choose. Like between the two meta hunters, I think the Goatman would be better here because the Hula Baloo field control may be a bit weaker compared to the Goatman, and Goatman has the like higher potential to stall even longer.
Yeah, but actually we're gonna see Hermit instead. I can't I don't quite understand the pick for Hermit because Hermit is notorious for well no, Hermit is notorious for his long matches and maybe that is exactly why they picked him.
Yeah, but there is an issue against this team comp. Is that first of all, the Gravekeeper can like use the shovel to dive underground to cancel his charge. Secondly, the Puppeteer can also like potentially turn into Lewis to negate some of the damage being taken there. There, like when he's sort of in assisting mode or something. So in theory, yes, Hermit is very good for dragging out the game, but he is also facing risk of having two survivors that is decently good against him.
But the thing with Puppeteer is even if he negates the damage to himself with Lewis, he won't manage to negate the damage that gets sent out to his teammates if he has the charge already on him.
Yeah, that's true though. So let's see how the survivors spawn. Oh, opt for T spawn here, and I think for her or Z spawn. And for Hermit will also have to be very careful in how he spawns and selects, because ideally he wants to drag out the game for longer, but he also needs to achieve a tie while doing so. Because another thing Hermit is
Mm-hmm.
notorious for is that when you pull him out, it's either a 3 to 4 man or a 0 to or like a 1 to no man. Like when you play him, it's normally a
Yeah.
high risk, high reward hunter. So the risk of playing is high. The question is, can he get the reward back?
Yeah, and we've actually seen the hermit spawn at Geisha. We were seeing the hermit spawn at Geisha in order to block the priestess's cipher. So the priestess will probably be forced to move somewhere else, or more likely than that, she'll be spending the time actually setting up portals at mid, which will condense the players around there instead.
Yeah, but probably the priestess does have like a couple of options here. Her cipher won't necessarily be immediately locked, but the antiquarian would definitely like how the antiquarian kite this out would be key. In theory, antiquarian gets countered because the antiquarian has a possibility of getting stunned. But we also seen good antiquarian players going to disarm the hunter before the hunter has a chance to land a charge on her. So how the antiquarian player plays is going to be the key of this match here, Sin.
It is, as most first kites are, but I think we're actually going to see the hunter not go for. Yeah, the hunter actually won't go for the antiquarian here. Instead, they're going to go for. That looks to be the gravekeeper.
Yeah, I think maybe he just wants to force out a shove or something, because I don't think chasing the Gravekeeper is the best move, because even if you land a charge on him once he goes underground, it's gone. But hold on, I think the real target is going to be the Priestess, and actually that was a very accurate charge over there, managing to snipe and stun the Priestess. But unfortunately, he's just too far away, giving the Priestess ample room to like make it very far. And this is not looking like a good start for Plan, because he just does not have the distance that he desperately needs to get the Priestess.
And yeah, with borrowed time, after jumping out of the window, the priestess has enough time to use another one of her portals, but I think she's already used a lot of her portals here. Will she have enough to leave this area once she runs out of pallets?
Um, Yeah, I don't think so. Don't think so. So I think she's gonna be like using this opportunity to transition into the next palette. After pulling off the palette, this ensures her safe for like a couple of time because the hunter doesn't have a chance of miracle. Let's see, miracle. Yep, able to get the first hit that he needs, and now with the first presence, he's also have the attachment ability. But the thing is that he's like very far from where the survivors are, so he's gonna be choosing to warp towards the puppeteer instead now.
Yeah, since he's unable to actually go to the priestess properly, he's just gonna opt to go for the puppeteer, which is not bad since he can send out damage to the others here. But since it's a puppeteer, it'll be harder to take him specifically down.
Yeah, the other thing is that just now, like the hit that occurred just now for the puppeteer was shared by 4 people. This means that currently the puppeteer still has like 1.3 health remaining and would not go down in one hit no matter what happens. So this is not good news for the hermit, as now the hermit will be switching back onto the priestess, and the hermit desperately wants it down. But that is the weakness of hermit, is that with so many people on the field to tank damage, the first down is notoriously slow as well, too, Sin.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the cipher progress, one cipher is already done. That's their second cipher, with the third being at loosely 80%. We're only missing two and a quarter ciphers.
Yeah, like 2.25 ciphers, and currently Hermit has not got the first down yet. He didn't even manage to force anyone in half health too. Like that is the weakness of Hermit we're talking about before the game, and clearly no one is in danger of being down at all. So Plan just cannot find the momentum he needs. Like yes, he's stalling for time, but stalling for time won't do you much if you cannot get the first down at all.
Yeah, what he needs most here is actually the kills, not the time. This is the biggest risk of playing Hermit, especially if you're not confident on him, or if you're not the kind of person who plays Hermit religiously to the point you've mastered him. He's so 50-50 in competitive sense, where there's a lot of communication.
Yeah, like currently the puppeteer isn't about to get the down soon. Like he still has one more Lewis to work with, or not because someone swapped. The thing is that even if the first down occurred right now, this won't change much into the game because just look at this. The last 2 ciphers are already less than 20%. So this is like 40% cipher progress remaining. What Hermit can do is very limited at this point.
I think at most what he can try to do here is try to prevent a
Nice
rescue.
disarm.
Oh, yeah. What he can try to do here is try to get a chair before the cipher pops, but Antiquarian does have borrowed time, so this is gonna be much harder for him to pull off endgame.
Yep, like with that we're going to be approaching endgame, and I think for Hermit, his plan is not even to trying to get a tie at this point of time, but to get like secure one-man elimination, because like the best thing to do is secure one-man elimination and hope for his teammates to get a faster free escape. That is really his only plan. But let's see, the puppeteer, oh, not gonna go down just yet. If one more shared damage, puppeteer going to be making a mad dash towards the dungeon. He knows the direction, and currently Hermit does not even have attachment. The Hermit cannot TP back, and the next charge is only 10 seconds, and puppeteer is inching closer and closer. Can he make it though? Like it's over once he pulled this pallet down. Like yes, he's gonna get the down, but with that, this won't be a 4-man escape here, Sin. Like this is exactly what I talked about before the game. Hermit is a high risk, high reward character, and we can see this backfired on the hunter massively.
Yeah, the hermit pick backfired incredibly, and that, even if it was a hermit, that match was actually rather fast.
Yeah.
So do you think their teammates are gonna be capable of tying this out? as much as I'd stay optimistic, it would take a miracle for them to pull that off.
Yeah, it would take like more than a miracle, considering that I think the escape was like it was somewhere around 4 minutes or something. Oh, actually,
Somewhere around
five
5.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then actually, like the thing right now is that the survivors have to achieve a 4-man escape in faster than 5 minutes. This is very hard. And for the hunter, like maybe they can even do something that like bring photographer and normal photographer just to drag for time. Time like there's just so many things that the hunter can do. They don't even need to get an elimination here.
Exactly. As long as they just stall out time, even if the other survivors get that for escape, they just need to make sure it lasts longer than 5 minutes.
Exactly what I'm talking about. So for Gao here, they not only need to force escape but have to do it fast as well. So what are their options here? Like we see they pick the Embalmer and the forward, but the forward does not. The forward is very slow in decoding.
If they choose to go with forward, they need to take another character that can actually mitigate forward's slow decoding speed. Instead, they're opting to take Painter. Perhaps they're gonna go for a harassment approach, try to get one character to cipher rush everything. Meanwhile, one of the other supports or harass will just fully support the person getting chased. But will that buy them enough time?
Yeah, but the issue with here though is that yeah, would they buy it enough time? Because while you're harassing, you would the decoding speed is going to be at a slowdown. Like that's the weakness of everyone harassing is that it would be in cost of the decoding speed here. So this is something that we should be look out for. So yes, they do have the mechanic to finish it up, but for the hunter, there are just so many hunters that he can potentially pick to not get a one man, but just even drag for time. Like Disciple can ensure a one man here, or he can just pick like some stalling hunters like wax artists, or maybe the photographer, or maybe the clerk, just to drag for time here,
Mhm.
or the shadow.
Or perhaps he can just go for something. He can just go for a character that has amazing early game and get that one man elimination. Like, or perhaps a camp hunter, someone that counters all of these harassers. We could say, yeah, again, wax artist, or perhaps they'll put out camp reliant hunters.
Exactly what I'm talking about there. So yeah, there are just too many choices. Like for Gao Survivor to escape the I honestly think that if they like run into a situation where they need the painter and the forward to come and harass, then they're in a losing position. Their only chance here is for the whoever gets found first, like does the kite of their lifetime and manages to kite for 4 or near 5 ciphers, because and then with the help of cipher rushing team comp, they decode very fast, and in endgame with the help of Embalmer achieve a 4 escape. That's the only way I can see Gao pulling this off. But there's just too many ways for Sky's Hunter to stop it. And yes, that is what I'm talking about, the Wax Artist. Wax Artist is very good in ensuring a one-man elimination, let alone he can use the wax to seal off ciphers, making sure that the survivor's decoding speed would not be fast at all.
As well as his raw abilities, just being able to counter these harassers as much as possible to prevent them from properly supporting the mechanic if ever she gets chased first. With this kind of spawn set though, again, since we're buying for time, he will probably spawn on Geisha right next to that mechanic.
Let's see though, like, there's not a specific spawn he should go for, because he can really go anywhere as long as, but he probably goes for, like, yeah, as you said, Geisha is the most likely, just to and go down the center just to like force the survivors to all rotate out early game and like destroy their formation, which is going to like delay the time even more.
And there we go. We actually do see him spawn Geisha. Now the question is, will he go for mechanic or will he decide to disrupt their formation, like you've mentioned?
I mean, that's more likely, or he can just go after the mechanic because mechanic cannot really kite out a wax artist in theory. Like, honestly, I've already said this before. The, the hunter has so many choices. It's the survivors who want to like pull anything. And if the mechanic gets chased, the mechanic has to kite for a lifetime. But mechanic, as we all know, the very weak kiter, meaning that in theory it's going to be hard as well.
Yeah, and as well as if we're looking at mechanic, she does not have borrowed time. No, she does have borrowed time, meaning she doesn't have the usual double kite traits that we've seen from Team Gauss survivors, where their decoder oftentimes brings flywheel and broken windows.
Yeah, but we can see that actually in the game, he's gonna opt to go for the center and destroy the formation as I was talking about. So he's gonna be chasing after the painter first because the painter doesn't really have any paintings to work with early game and just gonna be playing around this palette, but it's actually a very dangerous approach because we can see that he actually got wax coated very fast and the first hit occurred 30 seconds into the game. Like, this is not good for the survivors considering that they need a 4 escape in under 5 minutes.
He does have his painting already, but it's just not gonna last him long enough. Even with the embalm, that's still gonna be a lot of presence to feed him. With 50% wax as well as disrupting another cipher, he's gonna go down here without even.
Oh,
never mind. Actually, he manages to pull off his flywheel, and since he has that, since his wax was reset, he can use his painting here to buy himself a little bit more time, transition to somewhere with more walls, like the 2-story building, and from there, the wax artist is gonna change target because again, he doesn't need to lock onto one person.
Yeah, because like now he's gonna get a hit on the 4 because the good news is that because he knows that the 2 paintings are gone, so that means that like that's one major harassment gone over here. Painter going to try and help get the painter down. I think he only needs to chair the painter, it'll be good because he can use the warp to get towards the embalmer's coffin. So this means that in theory the second kite would not last out too long because there is still warp in play, and the key now is the key now is going to be the forwards football. Like, that's the last remaining item that can drag for time here.
Unfortunately, the painter does go down, and this is leading towards painter actually dying here on the rocket chair. I do think the forward's gonna be able to get the rescue off with the football, but the bigger question is, will the painter survive until the end of the game?
Yeah, but the thing is that it's going to be very hard because the thing is currently the wax artist is one more hit from full presence, and once full presence, the wax artist is going to be having molten wax to work with, and in molten wax state, it'll be very hard to protect a survivor from going down because it means that whoever comes to rescue needs to block off a lot of wax. The saving grace though is that with the help of the painter's trait, the painter's chair is much slower than before, much slower, so this is going to give ample time to decode. But is the time going to be enough though? That is going to be the real question here.
Yeah, since I think they're really abusing the painter's ability to just be rescued at any given moment and have his chair time still be the same. With this, the forward can stall out for as much as he needs and not worry. So they're just gonna choose to rescue like this, but no, he's actually just gonna choose to stun instead to avoid a possible terror shock, which honestly I think was a good decision.
Yeah, I think the wax artist got a bit too greedy there because all he had to do just now was to get a hit, and sure he has molten wax, and this would have been an entirely different story here. Instead, he now is just desperately trying to get this painter down. Though the saving grace, though, is that the painter also does not have borrowed time, so even if the painter can last up till endgame, he still cannot like pick himself back up, meaning that the survivors need to find a good timing to pop.
Yeah, the survivors are gonna have to pop in like for the forward instead of the painter. But then even still, the forward will be in a lot of risk for actually helping them. And if you're looking at the cipher progress, since both of their slower decoders are centered here, they do manage to get the cipher popped.
Yeah, because the thing is that, as I said, the wax artist still does not have full presence. I was saying before, if he just got the hit on the 4, this would have been an entirely different story. Though, I don't think it would matter too much because it's almost near 5 minutes. And as I was saying about before is that he only needs to get like a 1, they must get a 4-man like in fewer than 5 minutes. But now they're about to hit that mark, so it seems that this won't matter because even if the painter gets out, the timing dragged is like already enough for the wax artist.
Yeah, they only have another 10 seconds to get this, but I don't think the forward has enough football left to do this, to pull this off. One of them will go down here. And goes the painter.
And even if the forward has enough to pull this off, the time already exceeded. So all the wax artists need to do is to drop the painter on the chair, and this is going to be over.
And there it is.
Yeah, like the 3 remaining survivors are still outside, but it doesn't matter because with the help of the 4 escape last round, this means that the survivors already managed, like the hunter already managed to achieve his mission, and that is to get a 1-man here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like definitely I feel like for the wax artist part, he could have evaded the end game if he just hit the 4 and got full presence. Though he did achieve his like a mission with the help of the amazing 4 escape done by Sky Survivor. So congratulations to Sky to advancing as they're now 2-0, meaning that they're also 1 match away from hitting the top 8. Meanwhile, for Team Gao, they're gonna fall off to the losers bracket, or not losers bracket, fall off to the 1-1 stage, which is still not over for them as anything can happen, but they still have a long way to go with 2 more wins they need and 3 more chances.
Yes, and John, can you check your DM?
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, you're free to go,
Yeah, sorry, it just I'm not feeling quite the best anymore.
Yeah.
I will be here tomorrow probably.
Sure, then you're free to go.
Yeah, I apologize.
It's fine.
I will have to go.
It's fine, bye, Sin. Well, looks like I'm left on my own because I don't know what happened to Nyashi, and I don't know what, and Sin is not either not feeling well. So I guess that means that I'm on my own for a night. And I just had a peek that I think this game also overtimed, which is very bad news for me, considering I'm on my own. But I'll try my best. Haha. Oh, hold on, let me check my stream real quick. Oh my god, hello, Alright, hi Sultan. Okay, so we're going to be heading into FCMN versus LS, who are also the winners, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they also won last week. So, let's see, Ever Sleeping Town, Priestess being banned, Mechanic and Gardener. Like, we do see Mechanic being selected more often because it counters the Goatman, and also the Hula Baloo, so I should not be too surprised about this. Officer gets banned here. We're probably going to be seeing Gravekeeper and the Aeroplanist. Like, they lost Officer, but Gravekeeper also works here. Yeah, Yeah, apologies, everyone. I'm a bit sleepy. I'm a little bit sleepy right now, and because like I literally just got off work before I came here. So yeah, like that. Like the reason why I cannot live stream with NTT Live is because like I need to work and I need to work and get off. So yeah. So we're seeing Seer and Gravekeeper, which are some very solid team comp. Like this is a very solid team comp if you ask me. Decent against Hulabaloo, and Ghostman is workable. Though I do question how well would it be if we see other hunters. Like Wang's Artist would do good against this team comp, and those chasing hunters would do good. Heck, even Soul Weaver would be good against this team comp, I believe. So let's go through. Let's see what the hunter's pick is going to be here. Yeah, I'll speed up because it's also a long day for me. And considering I'm on my own, considering I'm also on my own. Oh, Night Watch. Night Watch against this team comp. The thing with this team comp is that with the Sears out, it means that the first down would not be fast, and the mechanics bot can also ensure like some very decent decoding speed. And this team comp is also very fast in decoding. Like in theory, this is a very strong team comp on the survivor's end. So the like the rest of this team comp is that everyone here is more or less fragile. So if the first down happens in like record speed, then it'll be impossible to reverse this from because like most of these survivors does not have too strong of kiting abilities. But if they are able to hold their own and the first down occurs in like a reasonable amount of time, then it's going to be more on the survivor's game, because the hunter cannot do much. The Night Watch is a weaker hunter in terms of trying to like gain momentum. So if the first down occurs in like an average amount of speed, like let's say 2.5 ciphers, then it'll be hard for the hunter to really gain something from it. Alright, let's jump in the game because I sort of know the result of this match. Anyway, so right off the bat we can see that Night Watch is going to be wandering around, but it seems that he's not interested in the Seer, and is going to be heading straight for the Mechanic, who has already dropped out her bot safely. So let's see, the Mechanic is going to be playing around these double pallets here, just trying to drag for more time. But this does seem that the Mechanic may be taking an early hit, and she actually got hit through the pallet, which is not ideal, meaning that with the help of the speed boost, she's not able to like enter the graveyard, and it's gonna go down in like within 40 seconds of the game. I was talking about record time, and this is sort of like a very fast down. Like just look at the cipher progress. It's not even one whole cipher. And the other bad news is that the bot also got spotted by a Night Watch, meaning that the bot cannot decode 2, and this would ruin the plan of SDMN Survivor, or LSS Survivor entirely here. Like, even though they did manage to get the Gravekeeper to pull off the rescue, but that does not change much because it's only 1.5 cipher progress, and let's see, the Mechanic can make it through. It's going to body block, so it seems that now the Mechanic has nothing to work with except for one more owl. But there goes the blink, and down goes the Mechanic, and clearly the cipher progress is only 2.5, and Mechanic is already on his second chair. Like, honestly, I feel like the rotation on the Survivor was a bit off, if you ask me, because someone was decoding at that graveyard. This means that the Mechanic pretty much had no place to go to and he could only play like those double pallets. But those double pallets are just very weak. As a result, the Mechanic gone down within 20 seconds. So yeah, the mechanic on the sea cannot rebound kite. It's going to be sent back to the manor, and I think right now the survivors will have to hurry and try and decode, or rather try and self-heal each other. Because the Night Watch does not have abilities right now, meaning that he cannot teleport, so it'll be being better for both the Gravekeeper and the Gardener to self-heal or heal themselves back up as fast as possible. So, because like currently the Night Watch can only try and locate the survivor, but the Gravekeeper is already back up, so that is good news for the survivor. But let's see how long can this Seer last. The Seer does have 1 hour to work with, and both Broken Windows and Flywheel, and the Seer will have to make this one count. Pull back, out forced out. So yep, the Seer will have to gonna head straight for the Gravekeeper. It seems that the Night Watch does not want anyone safely decoding here. Huh. Well, yeah, like the Gardener can still kite around the graveyard, but the Gardener is still in half health. Honestly, I think it would be better if the survivors just now also healed up the Gardener as well. Because like the Gardener getting found and busted here is not exactly what they would want. Because now, like the Hunter knows where the last 2 ciphers are, so he can easily drop the Gardener at the basement and go back out and just cut them off. Like yeah, like we can see that his ability is about to be back up. He can literally choose a teleport or go and harass the cipher. And it's 94%, but I think like the Hunter could normal the cipher if he wants to here. Let's see if he can. Like, because the thing is that, yeah, like that cipher is done. I think here he could have abnormal the cipher. Because if he's gonna blink here, then the Seer can just hurry and finish it. And then with 2 people alive, they could play for like a 1-man endgame. But it looks like the Seer wants to go for the rescue. But I think it would be better to just play for the 1-man maybe. Because like, if we're going to rescue the Seer, the Hunter will know which direction you 2 are, and it's gonna go back to stop them. And there's a chance that by playing like this, there's not even going to be a 1-man because the cipher is right next to him. Oh yeah, Seer mind games. He's gonna go for the rescue. I think right now they should work on finishing the cipher, because even if it's 94%, no one can touch the cipher. That's the huge issue here. Honestly, the Seer should have just completed the cipher rather than going to rescue, because no one can touch it right now. Like even the Gardener cannot touch, even he tried. They should have all 3 survivors just rushing it. Yeah, which is what they chose to do, but the thing is that both the Seer and the Gardener are both are in the vicinity, so this is still not good news. Honestly, like if the Seer just chose to come and pop the cipher, then the Hunter will be occupied by the Gravekeeper, because the Hunter already expended blank, and the Seer can go for the, and then the Seer can go for either the dungeon or the gate. But by like choosing to rescue and not rushing the cipher, when the cipher popped, all 3 are in the vicinity, which is bad news. And now the Seer as the last one, or the Gardener as the last one remaining, can't really do much here. So, yep, with that, this is going to be a 4-man on Team Alice's Hunter, which is a very good job. And honestly, I think for FCM meant the first down was just too fast with the mechanic. The mechanic's plan did not play off, considering that she went down within 20 seconds and did not even manage to kite away from her bot, which is deadly. If you play a mechanic, you do not want to die near your bot under any circumstance. So with that, this will be the first game. And let's head to the second game straight away. The thing is that this means that now LS's Survivor only need a one-man as well, so they can opt for some more safer approach, but they're going to be going for a Cypher rushing team comp here. So I think they just want to Cypher rush and get out. But the risk of Cypher rushing team comps are if the first down occurs like in record time, then they cannot really reverse it too much. Like we've seen that this happened just now. Like in the game just now, the Cypher was fast, but the mechanic went down within 40 seconds, and that was too detrimental. So they do have the Knight and Patient to tidy it up, but I think it would be maybe better if they swapped a Prisoner or Postman into the Embomber, because the Embomber is also the king of a one-man escape here, and having both the Postman and the Prisoner are like more risky choice. So we do a Mimi Mumu here, so let's see what will Mimi Mumu's pick be. I'm gonna speed up here as I need to rest for work tomorrow, so yeah. Oh, Mimi Mumu is gonna go for Galatea because yes, I remember now. He was that like F-badge Galatea. Oh, hi there, Elvin. Oh, yeah, Elvin, I saw the text, and unfortunately for me, both my partners had to leave, meaning that I'm stuck here alone for a night. Glad to see you around, Elvin. Haha. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to grab some water real quick as my mouth is getting dry. I'll be back. Much better. Anyways, now let's see how Galatea against this team comp. In theory, Galatea is not strong against Cypher rushing team comps because the weakness of Galatea is that Galatea's early game is very weak. In theory, it would take her very long to get the first down, but that is indeed in theory only. Like, because we also just seen Nightwatch mechanic very fast down, so anything can happen. But I'll say this, Galatea has a very weak early game, but meanwhile, you cannot afford, like with Cypher rushing team comps, you cannot afford for the first down to be too slow, because if the first down is too slow, then it'll be very hard to reverse it from. And also Galatea more or less is like a camping hunter, and camping hunters does not like Cypher rush. Because if the survivors opt for selling, then there's not much camping hunters can do. But one thing we note though is that this is a very like unconventional area selection, because with this selection, everyone all clumped together, there's a chance that they will all run into each other early game that will slow down the decoding speed. But we're gonna head straight into the game as Mimi Moon was gonna be heading straight for the Prisoner and the Postman too, and this is what I was talking about with this weird area selection. Everyone will be more clumped with each other, and ooh, a very accurate statue. Let's see. Oh, another statue! And we're just within 20 seconds of the game, and this Postman is already in half health. Mimi was definitely living up of the name, and another statue. Like, oh my goodness. We're just talking 30 seconds into the game, and Postman is already down to a quarter of health, and oh my. This, like 40 seconds, this is like a repeat of the last game. 40 seconds into the game, and down goes the Postman. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about before the game, like pre-game, is that the weakness of Cypher rushing team comp is everyone is fragile, and if accidents like this happen, it'll be very hard to reverse to. And the patient's gonna go for it, but the patient even misses the hook, meaning the patient is in danger over here too. The good news is the patient managed to pull off the rescue without any damage. Like, this is one good news. But if he's choosing to body block here, then he's just feeding the Galatea with more presence here, which is not ideally what you would want against the Galatea. Like, through rescuing, they gave Galatea more presence, and once the Galatea hits full presence, this would be the Galatea's playground. But yeah, if you ask me, I think the postman was not cautious of the statues just now. Like, because he sort of ate all the statues without like any attempts of dodging, which is a bit of a blunder on this postman's part. Because when you're carrying a Galatea, when you run, you would like occasionally pause for a bit, just try to like hope for the statue to miss. And the other thing is that I'm gonna insist they should not have rescued, because they just fed the Galatea with more presence, and this will make carrying the Galatea even harder. Because as we can see, just look at this. We're just like 20 seconds into this kite, and the prisoner is down once again because no one can kite out the full presence Galatea. Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh, but the knight also have to watch out though. The good news is that the knight coming in can use tactical foresight, but the bad news is that the Hear Me Moo just manages to use 2 normal attacks evaded, so there's some very good mind games done by the Galatea, but oh my, I was about to say fortunately pulled off the rescue, but that is not fortunate anymore, as this will be a double down situation. Honestly, if you ask me, I feel like the Galatea is just like a completely different level than the survivors in this game. As we're talking about 4 ciphers remaining, and we're already having 1 gone, 1 on second chair as well. Like, it seems to me that FC Alice's survivor have no clue how to counter a Galatea. And honestly, I would just want to applaud how accurate Mimi Moo's statues are, because we can see that throughout this game, he's getting a lot of chips with the help of his Statue of Nobility, and also his Statue of Novelty and Swiftness is also very strong as well. Like, he used all 3 statues very good, managing to get consistent statues with the help of both the horizontal and the vertical statues. So, as a result, the survivors cannot really do much throughout the game. Like, we can see that Mimi Moo is already in position of getting a 4-man, and 3 ciphers still remain. Like, this is more terrifying than the last round. Last round was endgame, but this round it was 3 statues remaining, like 3 ciphers remaining. So yeah, like the patient's only chance here is to kite until the knight bleeds out, which is near impossible. So with that, we have another 4-man elimination, a second overtime in the day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so yeah, this is getting a bit tiring for me too. So let's move into the last match. So Mimi Moo is up once again, but the thing with this tournament is that global bans are in play, meaning Mimi Moo can no longer choose Galatea. So Mimi Moo now must prove to his team and also to the viewers that even without Galatea, he is a strong hunter. So let's see, Mechanic gone, the Cypher Rushers are gone. The good news is that Alice can still pick they can still pick the strong characters like Seer, Fire Investigator, Puppeteer, Acrobat, but they offer the Enchantress. But that's interesting considering that they got rid of the Goatman, because the Enchantress counters Goatman. So I wonder here, what are they trying to counter with this? Maybe they know something about Mimi Mumu that I don't. Is this Swiss or single elimination? This is Swiss, Elvin. Court next. They probably still need an officer or a gravekeeper to ensure rescue in case the hunter chooses something like a camper hunter. Oh, LS really likes cyber rushing because yes, I know that in overtime the decoding speed matters, but you're also facing the same thing with the last game, is that this is relatively fragile. Like the Enchantress and the Cord are weak. Enchantress is weak early game. Cord only has a flare gun to work with, so this is the same thing as the last game. Is that if the first down happens at record speed, it'll be near impossible to reverse it. But yeah, let's speed up because I also need to rest soon. Disciple, huh? Actually, Disciple is decent against this team comp because Embalmer Cord cannot kite too long. Not the best against the Disciple. But the Seer is going to be the key of this game because the Seer can prolong someone's kite for longer. So I think, first of all, let's establish this. If the first down happens in record time, it'll be very hard to reverse it. And second of all, this is a very fragile team comp. This means that the Seer's owl will be key in order to prolong the first kite massively. So yeah, let's head into the game straight away. But while we're at it, we actually see that there are no tide turner of this game. Maybe here they're just hoping that whoever gets chased first is going to make the massive kite. But we're seeing that Mimi Mumu has managed to spot out the Seer here hovering around the shack, but he's opting to rotate behind the shack, which is not the best move because behind the shack there are no paths to work with, giving Mimi Mumu a clear jump over here. As let's see, oh, in the nick of time there, managing to go through the pallet. And now you can still loop around the shack for a bit. So currently missing the first out. This means that the first down is being delayed by a lot. Oh, misses the out though. So now Tao here has a chance to use the out, but not using the out over there because he's dropping the pallet down, and that's gonna come back to haunt him. Because now, look, with the help of the cat, now the Seer is forced to use his out at a very weird position there, and this is not ideal for the Seer at all. Literally, the Seer should have just used the out just now, because now, within 30 seconds, down goes the Seer. The fortunate thing, though, is that he did manage to kite for a bit, but this kite could have been way longer than what we're seeing right now. The thing with this team comp is that there are no tide turners in this team, so this means that this is going to be an entirely different story. The flare gun is going to come in and... Oh, I thought someone was trying to do a backdoor rescue from behind, but turns out it isn't. So the thing with how they're playing is that the Seer, look, is going to go down instantly. I'm not sure if the decision on LS to not have any tide is the best here. Without tide turner, they cannot really prolong any kites at all. They cannot prolong any rebound kites, and this also means whoever comes to rescue will always be in danger of instant double down too. Oh, yes, look, the core already got spotted out, so the core cannot really rescue realistically. But oh, that scared me for a bit. But I honestly felt like just now Mimi Mumu could have just pulled the cats back for and opt for like instant for like camp, but he chose to get farm, which is also decent enough. But hold on, amongst all this, the ciphers are actually about to be primed. Like, oh my goodness, just look at this decoding speed, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, within 3 minutes of the game, the ciphers are going to be enough. I think, like, if that is the plan on LS, to cipher rush is good. But the thing though is that they could have gotten a free man over there. But yeah, okay. Oh, so for the hunter, the disciple does not have the trump card, so this will be a free escape in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So I think like what happened of this game is that the first down was at 70 seconds because the disciple missed her first cat. This means that the first down was not fast, like was not fast to begin with, so the ciphers were high in progress. And throughout the game, the disciple didn't really manage to like have any chance to harass the ciphers. So that's that. Maybe the disciple should have found opportunity to use her cats to harass the ciphers to slow the game down. Because the thing with this new meta is that if you get like a normal 80-second down and a normal camp, then you are going to get cipher rushed. So in order to like not get cipher rush, you have to either get a double down, like gain something rescue, or the first down to occur like under 80 seconds. With a tie in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, this almost puts the pressure on FCMN's survivor to get a free-man escape, because if they get a tie, it must be faster than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which will be very hard in this game. Oh, they opt to ban Gamekeeper in this map, but Gamekeeper is very strong. A Gamekeeper is not strong in this map. I apologize, I'm getting very tired. Gamekeeper is not strong in this map at all. So I think here it probably may be more of like LS's Hunter's Comfort pick. But here for FCMN, they're going to be aiming for a free escape. So they probably need to have kiting and assist all in one go. So yep, that's why we see both the cheerleader and the airplanist. Let's see. Got rid of the seer and the first officer. Maybe here, LS's Hunter would be looking to ban more of the banning more of the assisting. It would be better for them to ban more of the assist, because in order for FCMN to get a free escape, they would ideally want to like fight, choose some fighter team comps, like a lot of harassments. So maybe better for LS's Hunter to get rid of the potential harassers, because like the archer been selected, so maybe here they want to ban like the prospector next or the forward next, making sure there's not too many harassed, which is what we're seeing right here. Oh, Postman as the last one. So I'm not sure if Postman is the best here, considering that FCMN wants to get like a free escape. Maybe it would be better if FCMN chooses a prospector or like enchantress, just like, you know, or meteorologist also works too. Just all those standard stuff you see, it would like all those would be better than this Postman we're seeing right here, because postman is very fragile. We've literally seen in the game just now, like in the ever sleeping game, the postman went down in under 40 seconds. This is like not too ideal. So, yep, that's not too ideal for FCMN. So in theory, they're going to be looking for a free escape, meaning that we're probably going to be seeing everyone support this postman, because for Alice's hunter, they can just choose a hunter that can target the postman the entire time. So let's see, this will be the last game of tonight no matter what. What is going to be Alice's hunter pick here? Oh, offer the Bloody Queen. Yeah, if we're talking about this, Bloody Queen is also the queen of tying. Like, she used to be very strong, but she got nerfed where her movement speed is slower, and also the fact that she gets countered a lot by the flywheel effect made her fallen out of the meta. And if you look at this team comp, we're actually seeing 2 flywheel effects here. So in theory, this will give the Bloody Queen a harder time. But remember, the Bloody Queen is only playing for a tie here. Because like the tie last round was around 3 minutes and 30 seconds, this means that it'll be very hard to exceed that time. So really, the Bloody Queen will only need to get a tie in order to win the game, and he can just target the postman. The postman does have a flywheel effect, so this is one thing the Bloody Queen must pay attention to, because Bloody Queen cannot afford to miss her mirrors. One missed mirror for the Bloody Queen, and that would be like 30 seconds more of chasing time. Yeah, let's head into the game. Both teams are definitely not going down without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Considering that whoever wins this would be a 2-1, they definitely want it to be them. Oh, let's see, going to be in the factory. Uses a mirror. Can he get the first hit here? Is able to get the first hit straight away. That is very, very accurate, but we're heading a pause straight away, so let's speed ahead. Let's see, is it soft? Oh, for some reason we are back at the area selection, or rather the band pick selection here. So probably there were some incidents that occurred off stream. If anyone knew what happened, please let me know. Elvin, no, they don't need a free man escape, but because this is over time, and just now the survivors managed to tie in like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So this pretty much means that the survivors here would want a free man escape, because this means that the survivors here will want a free man escape, because it'll be very hard to tie and exceed 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And it'd be faster than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Ooh, we have more people in the stream. Hello. Hope you are having a great day. I apologize if like my mic is bad, because literally my original mic broke down all of a sudden, out of nowhere. And I found these headphones at the last minute. Haha. Well, this has been a very long day, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, like before the pause last round, I just see the cheerleader running towards the postman. Like, probably ideally they're trying to support, but I don't think supporting straight away is also the best idea, considering the fact that this is going to slow down the cipher speed by a lot. Like if they want to free escape with this team comp, they need the postman to kite for a bit first, and then have the cheerleader to assist, and not assisting straight away. Because if you're assisting straight away, the cyber speed would be beyond enough. Anyways, we're heading in the match between FCMN Survivor and Ellis's Hunter with your caster, Invisible Joan. So yeah, it seems that their plan all along is to assist straight away, but as I was saying, I don't think that's the best idea here, as Postman is in a very dangerous position right off the bat, and taking a mirror hit straight away. So this is very bad for the survivors, considering that the first down cannot occur too fast, and the cheerleader cypher is the slower one because she tried to assist. And the postman will be running towards the center where he's gonna disrupt the airplanes as well. So it seems that there are some like massive rotation issues on the survivors end. And another mirror. Let's see, can able to kick this one out? Nope, not being able to. Down goes the postman. And okay, the timer is paused, but I would estimate it's around 50 seconds off the game here. Yeah, 50 seconds. And this is not good for the survivors at all. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, ideally they need a free escape or a tie under like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which both will be very hard because the Bloody Queen can just raise the mirror on the cipher to scare them off and slow the decoding speed down by a lot. So even if the postman gets rescued over here, unless the postman can do a rebound kite, it won't help them much. And it'll be hard for the postman to rebound too, because the Bloody Queen still has both a mirror and a blink to work with. So the blink is going to be forced over here, and cheerleader's in a dangerous spot as well. So this is like adding salt on the wound. We do see the archer coming in preparing to assist, but wait. Did the Bloody Queen just lose the postman? Oh my goodness, why are there adverts in the middle of a stream? Adverts. But wait, the archer also got spotted out. Let's see. Archer, flywheel, able to flywheel away, but the archer is very far away, so with that, the postman is on his second chair and he's dead on chair right now. Like if he gets rescued again, there's no more chance. Meaning that they have to make this third kite last a lifetime, considering it's very unlikely they're gonna get a tie in faster than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, like even if the cheerleader is here, the postman can still down by the mirror, but a very beautiful body block just to prolong even more time. Like I don't know what's the current time count, but I'd reckon it would be very hard for them to prolong it longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But Bloody Queen here wants to go after the cheerleader, but I think he should really find an opportunity to get the postman down before the postman hits 28 stacks. Because if the postman hits 28 stacks, then he can like get an extra help. Oh, nice flywheel. Cheerleader, will she try to body block? Yes, she will. And if able to pull off the block here, prolonging even more time, opting for the hunter to switch chairs, because the hunter knows that if it's a tie, it's going to be time as the essence. But here the hunter really should focus on the postman and not on this archer, because if the hunter gets free escaped, it will be over. But the hunter just allowed the dead on chair postman to run away scot-free, and that's not ideal. Like he needs a tie to take this round, but if he's gonna be playing like this, then this may not be a tie. Like if the hunter, everyone is in half health, so the hunter can field control. But field control can only do you so much if you can never get a tie, because the hunter needs a tie. Let's see, who is that? Oh, it's Baby Top's archer, who only have one more crossbow and arrow, but yeah, like the archers want to get chaired, but this would just allow the survivors to like sort of reset, because we can see that the 2 survivors who have been chaired are now getting healed up. So the hunters are on limited time, allowing the postman, the on-chair postman, to run away scot-free is a massive blunder on the Bloody Queen's end. Because like after he got the cheerleader, he should have instantly turned to the postman and not allowing him to run away scot-free. Because we can see that the hunter is now confused on what to do. Like if he commits too hard on this cheerleader, the cipher at the far end will be enough. But if he leaves the cipher, then the cipher at the shack will be enough. So I think more or less FCM and Survivor turned it around, because like the hunter made some poor decision making in this game. Yeah, like even if the cheerleader goes down here, this will ensure be a 4-man endgame. Wait, okay, my bad, it's Archer, but yeah, still the same. Like yeah, Cypher is primed, and I think they can just pop it as soon as Baby Top goes down, because the only one without tie is board tie is cheerleader. I think they can just pop it at this moment, seeing that no one is near the Cypher. Like no one's getting chased, because if you pop now, then this gate cannot be popped. And there's a slight chance of abnormal too, though I don't think abnormal will be in play here. But I just don't understand, they literally had the opportunity to pop. I don't understand what was the postman waiting for. No one was getting chased just now, they could have just popped it. Like they're not exactly delaying for time here. Maybe they want the survivors to be closer towards the chair, but they just but just now it was a bit dangerous just now. Like the server's prime soon. I think here like they just need to like have the postman stand still and pop. Because it's clear that the Bloody Queen would not use the mirror, so what both sides can do are very limited. There is the chance to tie if the Bloody Queen can get the postman down with this mirror and teleport to a gate. Oh, nice flywheel from the postman though. And oh, misses the swing, then this is going to be a huge different story. Because even if the Bloody Queen teleports, the thing is that she has no mirrors to work with though. So in theory, they can still kite for a bit as the archer. Just one flywheel and one more arrow to kite this one out here. And yeah, Fat Cat, the cheerleader went back to pop it. So with that, I think this is going to be a 3-man escape here because the aeroplaners and the postman can get out through the other gate. So, congratulations to FCMN. Like considering how fast the first down was, the survivors turned around with the help of rebound kite. But I think the Bloody Queen lost focus mid-game, considering that she only needed a tie, but tried to like turn this into a AoE war, and this went back to haunt her massively. So yeah, congratulations to FCMN's team once again. As with this, they're gonna be getting a 2-1 and advance towards like they're very near to advance towards the upper brackets, or rather the top 8. As for Team LS, they're gonna drop down to the 1-2, but it's still far from over for them, as anything can still happen. But yeah, that's a very beautiful showcase on FCMN, considering that they had a very fast down and they were like in position of the postman get eliminated. Because if the postman got eliminated just now, then it's nearly over for them. But with the help of both the cheerleader and archer's assist, they did manage to turn that around. So that's some amazing teamwork done by FCMN. But on Alice's Survivor, I feel like the decision making on Alice's Survivor mid game was not exactly the best there. So yeah, I feel like that is a bit of a blunder on Alice's Hunter end. But don't worry yet, because they're still in it as it's only a 1-1 for them, and they still have 3 more games to decide their final fate. But yeah, with that, I believe this would wrap up today's matches, as this will be our final game. And for tomorrow, we're going to have more. We're going to be having more games tomorrow. As tomorrow, it will be the 4 losing teams of Week 1 making their appearance, and they're going to be fighting either to stay alive in the game by 1-1, or would they lose the second game too and drop to 0-2. Both of them are possible, and the teams definitely don't want to be 0-2, because if they go to 0-2, they will be in a very passive situation where they must win the 3 remaining games in order to advance. So yeah, this is a quick recap of the matches today, with CC winning by 7-2, WYS winning by 6-3, Sky winning by 4-4, and then 6-3 in overtime, and Elwit and FCMN winning by 5-5, and then 5-3 in overtime. So yeah, for CC, WYS, Sky, and FCMN, they are going to be advancing to the 2-0 bracket, where for these 4 teams, 2 of them are going to be the first ones to advance to the winners bracket, or rather the top 8. Because if you're at 2-0 right now, then you're in a very good position, because this means that for the next 3 games, they only need to win 1 game to advance. So this is the good thing with Swiss of winning the first 2 games. Yeah, now we're going to be showing here, I'm going to tell you right now, CC, WYS, Sky, and FCMN are here at 2-0. HLT, MT, Gao, and LS will be here at 1-1. And tomorrow, we're going to be having WB, 2GT, WG, PPD, TSF, NE, ES, and BUN, BU and BUN to fight to try and stay alive. Oh my god, pro commentary. Oh, hi, Junie. Yeah, this is a tournament that I am helping to commentate off. But Junie, this is not the only thing I'm doing. I also host my own tournament, which is going to be, I think it's 3 weeks later. So make sure to stay away. Yes, Elvin, it's a long battle for real. So yeah, we're still relatively early in the Swiss stage. We're still very early because these last few matches are what matters, especially when we're going to be having teams that are at 2-1 or 1-2. That's when everything gets more bloody, because it means that one more match defeat you're out, or one more match win you're going to qualify. Especially you know at the final rounds when you're 2-2, this means that it's going to be a hit or miss. It's going to be a hit or miss here, it means. Yeah, we still have a lot to go for this tournament, but once we hit for this week, it's going to be the end of Swiss stage, if I'm not mistaken, and for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be the battle of the top 8, where I'm all for it, ladies and gentlemen. And oh yeah, here is once again NTT and ECH, thank you. And oh yeah, just saying, for this week I unfortunately can only restream, but for the next week onwards, once we hit top 8 and it is at weekends, I would be able to stream live. I unfortunately cannot stream live at weekdays because I need to work. Like I need to work and I need like some time to cool off a bit before I come, so I cannot do it live. But I'm certain I can do it live at like in weekends at top 8, so you all can look forward to that. But yeah, we still have a lot of games for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be here once again, hopefully with Sin. I'm not too certain of Nyashi. But yeah, because like Nyashi had to go and Sin was not feeling well, so I'm stuck on my own. Hopefully I'll have someone else to work with me tomorrow. But I also like the fact that today's matches were more closer. I think that's why we're seeing is that now that in Swiss stage, like we're seeing that in Swiss stage, teams ranking closer placed together means that we're seeing more closer and closer battle. Whoop. Yep, I guess that wraps up for today. Goodbye, everyone. I assume there's waves, and this is also from me to wave. Goodbye, everyone, and hopefully y'all enjoyed today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.